We are live. Okay, so to the people, to the roughly a dozen people that are watching, hello everyone, and welcome to our coverage of tonight's Creative Arts Emmys. Tonight we are I'm Charlie Bright, as most of you know, and with me is good buddy of mine, Christopher Sang. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to see the studio take all of the Bears awards.
At least it'll be something that's supposed to be funny. I have to admit I have not watched all of the studio. I watched the first two episodes and I was kind of and I was entertained, but it didn't grab me enough, and so I'm gonna have to actually like go and actually watch the rest of the season. Have you watched the full season?
No, I got through past the Ron Howard episode, which I thought was fine. I it's it has like every first season show, it has like all the potential of and the makings of making a really good show. I feel like a lot of and I feel like they're so focused on capturing the tone and the mood of the industry that sometimes, which it does really well. But for me, when it the key difference between me liking a show is always like the writing and the storytelling, and I feel like not a lot of that has been necessarily been grabbing me. It's a lot of like the fast-paced Birdman like dialogue feels very a little bit unnatural, which maybe is how the industry works when it comes to those like high stakes. Uh, but it's a show that I always. It's the second it was announced, I was like, if it gets like the if it gets traction and good reviews, it's gonna catch on with the industry, as many industry programming does.
Too true, too true. But I keep on hearing good things about, and I did say to myself when I watched that pilot episode, I was like, Martin Scorsese better at least get nominated for guest acting in a comedy series because he was fucking hilarious at that.
Yeah, he would be nominated regardless. He's Martin Scorsese. I mean, he's probably not there tonight, but
I mean, he's probably got some new film he's working on that's going to go over 10 at another Oscars.
yeah, or he's busy playing Jesus in Julian Schnabel's film.
I could get any more pretentious.
Which, by the way, announced its prize winners today. Which those were choices after hearing many behind the scenes rumors regarding their let's say jury debate, to put it nicely. Yeah, it's an interesting crop.
I don't expect anything out of Venice. After what was it? The one last year was the Room Next Door one last year, right?
Yeah, Pedro Almodovar. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that was, the power of Isabelle Huppert as the jury president. The president always has the final say. So yeah, I mean, I watched that, and I usually love Almodovar films. I don't know, maybe because it was in English, but like the story just it was so dragging. There was no there. I don't know. The stakes didn't grab me.
I loved it actually. I thought it was I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
I wish there was like more emotion to it. I should watch more of. I've only seen Parallel Mothers, which I loved. All About My Mother, which I loved.
That's a fantastic
Woman
movie.
on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, which I loved. I haven't seen Talk to Her. I should
Oh,
say.
Talk to Her is amazing. Talk to Her is
Um,
absolutely amazing.
and I haven't
And
seen the other Penelope Cruz. Oh, I saw Pain and Glory, of course. That I
yeah,
love that. Yeah,
and Bad Education will throw you for a loop.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good too. Yeah, and Julieta is actually very good too.
What's that?
Julieta, I think that was from 2016.
Okay,
That
nice.
one's pretty good too. And Penelope Cruz's first nomination for Volver is fantastic. So, to everyone watching, thanks for joining us. We got the lineup for tonight. our the first category is going to be guest actress in a comedy series. They're just about to start the ceremony, and from what I have been able to tell, what the opening they're going to open it, and Maya Rudolph is going to be the first person presenting. She's going to do her little bit, and then go right into guest actress in a comedy series. Do we want to talk about that category a little bit?
Uh,
Like you're going to
I
say no.
mean, if I know these categories don't have little, if anything, to do with like the other main acting races or anything regarding the primetime ceremony, but if Julianne Nicholson doesn't win this, then that might spell some trouble.
It might, but I had Cynthia Erivo for the longest time because when I watched that episode of Poker Face, she's playing five people in it, and it is very funny. And I said to myself, well, I said to myself when I saw that, I'm like, well, she's winning this Emmy, no questions asked. That's before Hacks came on.
I feel like she's the only nomination for Poker Face, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, like Judith Light last time I could understand based on like how that category shaped up and the lack of a serious front runner. But I don't know. Cynthia Erivo would strictly be on the power of her name, and I don't think her name is big. She's no Margot Martindale. I'll say that.
I would actually love to see her play Margot Martindale.
Oh God.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think it's interesting. You got Olivia Colman and Jamie Lee Curtis both back for the Bear. Jamie Lee Curtis is very good in that episode Ice Chip. She's really good in that, and I wouldn't fault her at all for winning this one. You also got Robbie Hoffman for Hacks and Julianne Nicholson for Hacks, obviously, and Zoe Kravitz, the one of the few categories where the studio only has one nomination in it.
I feel like that's guest actor is the only and supporting actress. Those two are the only places where the studio is has more than one nominee in the category. I think everywhere else it's just one. Well, maybe not. I'm talking about like acting and writing and directing. I don't know anything about the about editing and
Yeah,
cinematography.
I can't believe I didn't put it together, and I didn't like notice it until like just like a couple hours ago that in editing the pit is missing in editing,
Yeah,
and that
and
made me go,
Severance
oh
has three. So
yeah,
yeah,
and that made me go, oh, maybe I should be taking Severance a bit more seriously.
I mean, Adolescence isn't an editing, but like that's just the equivalent of Birdman or
Well,
1917.
yeah, every single one of them is a one shot take essentially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Julianne Nicholson's a pretty safe. I finally did switch to Julianne Nicholson. Um,
I haven't wavered at all on the guest categories. It's the ones it's like stuff like, maybe the reality variety ones like game show host and, variety directing or all that other fun stuff or music composition. Those are the ones I took the risks on. Yeah.
well, they may be something to keep an eye on. You never know.
I would personally, and I should probably say this before any winners are announced, so everyone can see how dumb I look in retrospect. But I would be personally shocked. I know last year happened, but like I would be personally shocked if more than two shows win their genre in each genre at the primetime telecast. Like between limited series would be Adolescence and Penguin. I'll be shocked if anything else won. Um, Drama would be Pitt and Severance, which with the exception of maybe Carrie Coon for The White Lotus. And then for comedy, Hacks and Studio with maybe Harrison Ford in
Who do you think is going to win drama supporting actor?
I I think it's Tremel Tillman.
I
And
have him in number
same
two, but
reason,
I still have Walton Goggins in there.
it's the same reason I have Britt Lauer. I don't know where this Kathy Bates I mean, I get it, but I also don't get it. I don't know where this love for Kathy Bates came from for because I think she's Matlock's only nomination.
It is, yeah.
It's not for up for drama series. She might not even be nominated next year. So like I don't that is strictly on the basis of her name. And I feel like if Severance were to win drama series, Britt Lauer has to win. And so does and I feel like it should win supporting. White Lotus is interesting though. I equate that with like, Ted Lasso season 3 when it got a shit ton of nominations and won nothing except, maybe a guest category.
Yeah,
Which,
it won guest, and I think it won original music and lyrics also.
but it got like totally blanked at the main show because of the sweep of the bear. And I
Yeah.
feel like this year because I know I don't feel like there's no category where there's really no idea of a front runner that a Lamorne Morris pops out of nowhere. Like I feel like if something were to lose, if a front runner show were to lose, it would go to the other front runner show. But that's just me. I've been this way about the Emmys for 10 years, aka when they switched to the popular voting system.
Yeah, it's I although I did that was so refreshing last year where we got a couple of those like really out of nowhere wins like Lamorne Morris and also like Slow Horses winning writing. Um,
Yeah,
the,
that's the thing. Shogun, the only, in terms of the main show, the only category Shogun lost was when it had like two nominees.
yep.
Uh, so yeah, all you naysayers about vote splitting, you guys maybe can consider that.
So like I've always said, it's vote splitting is a thing when it's a thing and it's not when it's not.
and this year, like there's all if there is potential for vote splitting, again, it would just go to the other frontrunner show. I mean, drama directing. I know The Pit and Severance both have 2 episodes each, and but I think one of those shows will win because the other three don't have enough passion, which is ultimately what it comes down to, um, in terms of why vote splitting would be a thing if the other nominees have enough passion.
Yeah, I also think I also was thinking about that and uh but the chance I'm sticking with, and I think I'm going to just be stubborn about this, is in directing. I'm sticking with The Pit.
For which episode?
I think it's 6 o'clock. It's the one where the mass
Yeah.
casualty event.
Yeah, I would have thought for sure if the pit was going to get multiple episodes. I thought the second part of the massacre would get nominated because it was submitted. It was that part one and the pilot, and that was the only one that didn't get nominated. The second part where Noah Wiley has his breakdown, which is also not his episode submission for drama actor if those submissions mattered. He submitted the finale, I think, which it's fine, but it's definitely not like it's not the one it's not the one where he's like having a breakdown on the floor.
Going to just checking the comments we got going on right now. To Tina, who says, "Do you know where guest actor drama? Guest actor drama is second to last tonight. The last category is going to be TV movie. Drama guest actor will be second to last. And tonight is all of the uh, narrative categories. So stuff that's for regular shows with actual characters that and non-reality documentary variety. So all of that's going to be going on there. We are awaiting our first winner. I am checking Twitter like a madman. Seeing what happens here. After guest actress in a comedy, we're moving on to the all important makeup categories. Uh, First one's going to be contemporary makeup, non-prosthetic. The nominees there are I can never remember. I can never know how to pronounce this. I guess it's grotesquerie.
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce it? Grotesquerie. The Last of Us. Only Murders in the Building. The Penguin. The Pit. And The White Lotus.
Got to be the Penguin.
And we got our first winner. We got guest actress. No surprise here. Julianne Nicholson wins for playing Dance Mom, and I'm sure enlightening a completely new generation as to what boofing is. Unless you learned about that during the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation hearings, because that is in the official congressional testimony. I will say that is one of the that was the most awkward episode of Hacks I ever had to watch with my mother.
That's why I never watch things with my parents.
Though I will say, Hacks has the best, my favorite line of any show this past season. When Gene Smart thinks that Hannah Einbinder might have killed herself, and she finds her on the beach, and Hannah Einbinder yells out, "I'm not suicidal. I just want to die." And I'm just like,
is that one of their episode submissions?
I don't think so. I think they stuck with the slippery slope, the second to last one.
Both of them? Okay.
Yeah, I think in both writing and directing, that's the one they chose.
No. I'm talking about for Gene Smart or Hannah Einbinder.
Oh, I don't know if that. I don't know. I didn't read. I haven't paid attention to the episode submissions in so long because they don't matter anymore.
I'm
Yeah. What were you saying for contemporary makeup, non-prosthetic?
Gotta be the Penguin. It's gotta be.
I am hesitant only because it's the specifically non-prosthetic, and it feels like so much of that makeup is the prosthetics.
Yeah, but it's also the most popular show.
That's true. And I was actually Jack asked me last night why I was sticking with Colin Farrell in limited lead actor, and I said to him, I just think it's because the Penguin did do very strongly overall, and Colin Farrell is a master campaigner.
I also think Kristen Miliotti's like a shoo-in.
I think so
in
too.
This popular voting era, if one loses, then the other loses, and I think she's probably. I think personally think she's more locked in her category than Colin Farrell is in his.
I would not wholeheartedly agree with that.
I would not be surprised if Stephen Graham won.
Yeah, same. Although Stephen Graham will most likely win as a writer, though, because he's
and a producer.
And as a producer. So he could actually go like Richard Gadd did last year.
That would just, yeah, he could be the most awarded guy of the night unless Seth Rogen wins all four of his categories.
I have nothing against Seth Rogen, but his laugh gets very irritating very quickly.
I just don't buy him as a studio head. Like, he's too big of a name.
It's also just like he's so I'm so like firmly knowing of him as this total stoner that the idea of him translating that into a massively important job like a studio head is very hard for me.
It's the same reason why I still to this day don't buy, and I don't watch Shameless, but I still to this day don't buy Jeremy Allen White as anything but, his character on Shameless. And I probably won't buy him as just by his look, not by his acting abilities. I won't buy him as Bruce Springsteen either, which he's getting good reviews for. A lot of biopics. A lot of these performers are getting standout immediate Oscar attention from all these pundits, including everyone's favorite Sydney Sweeney. So,
well, she's checking a lot of boxes there. We do have a winner for contemporary makeup non-prosthetic. It is, in fact, the Penguin. So congratulations to them on opening their account for the night. After this, we have prosthetic makeup. Nominees are House of the Dragon, The Last of Us, The Penguin, The Pit, and Saturday Night Live. I mean, it's got to be The Penguin. If they rewarded it for its non-prosthetic, how can they not for its prosthetic?
Yeah, like, it's not like, most the broader branch even knows the difference. Same thing with, the sound editing and sound mixing categories.
Well, at least with this one, it's like you know that the people voting on it because it's voting because the voting is actually done by the branch. You know that they actually know the difference between mixing and editing.
Yeah. I mean, they still mostly will go with the popular choice.
Sure enough, the Penguin wins prosthetic makeup. Huge shocker there.
I wonder when we will get our first shocker. Let me see. I want to say the guest categories, but I'm honestly pretty confident. I mean, unless guest actor is or drama is pulls the 180 or like because I can see many front runners there, but that's all the way to the end.
Then we have period or fantasy sci-fi makeup, non-prosthetic. Nominees there are Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire, which we know Rob loves. Uh, House of the Dragon, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, The Righteous Gemstones, and What We Do in the Shadows.
Hmm.
I mean, part of me thinks probably
I
it's
can,
going to be either Interview with the Vampire or House of the Dragon, but God, I would love if What We Do in the Shadows were able to win this for its final season.
That's What We Do in the Shadows ever won.
I don't think it's one. You mean any category or this?
Just any category.
They won either costume or production design. I can't remember which. I know they've won one of them, I think. Yeah, last year this went to Shogun, which of course
Everything.
everything went to fucking Shogun last year. Um, then the year before that, you had Marvelous Miss Maisel, and then Pam and Tommy in 2022, and Queen, and this was also part of the Queen's Gambit sweep in 2021.
I'm glad Interview of the Vampire. I didn't even know it was nominated this year, so I'm glad I haven't seen the show, but I hear a lot of great things about it.
And after that, we have period costumes, with the nominees being American Primeval Episode 2, Bridgerton for Into the Light, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story for Blame It on the Rain, 1923 for A Dream and a Memory, and Wolf Hall, The Mirror and the Light for Wreckage.
Probably Bridgerton, but I wouldn't be surprised if Wolf Hall won.
That's what I was thinking. Wolf Hall or Bridgerton or Wolf
Probably
Hall.
Wolf Hall.
What's American Primeval? I forget what that is.
Whenever I think that, I think of the Justified revival, but that's not it. Which they should really renew that show. Not that I was a big fan of the revival, but at least, Walton Goggins have being back, that's gonna step things up.
God, he was so great. As Boyd Crowder, he was so fucking great on that.
That's his best role. The Shield being his second.
Man, Raylan, yo time and shut us up. Love when he does that when he walks into his shootout.
Just anytime he just shouts Raylan's full name, just like Raylan Givens. Same inflection, same tone. It always goes, "Hey, Raylan Givens."
Period fantasy makeup goes to House of the Dragon.
No.
So far, HBO Max is cleaning up. They've won every award that's been presented so far.
What does Wolf Hall on? Oh yeah, PBS.
PBS, yeah, it's Masterpiece. We'll see. We'll see. It may not be there next year. After that was a nice reality check. After that, we have contemporary costumes for a series. Nominees there are Emily in Paris for The Gray Area, Hacks for Heaven, The Righteous Gemstones for You Hurled Me into the Depths, into the Very Heart of the Seas, The Studio for CinemaCon, and The White Lotus for Same Spirits, New Forms.
Emily in Paris is still on the air.
I think it was the last season of that show. Which, yes, I had the exact same reaction when I saw that in the
Although
nominees. I was like,
I
holy
did,
shit, that's still on?
I did read about the passing of, I think it's a director, assistant director, which was very sad.
Hmm.
Um, uh, what is, I forgot the rest. The studio or White Lotus, probably.
I think, well, if the considering the name of the episode for the studio is CinemaCon, so I guess it's like a Comic Con type event, so that requires a whole bunch of costumes, of fun costumes that who knows, maybe actually could have technically been in the fantasy sci-fi, but I guess because it takes place in modern times, I guess it wouldn't qualify as that. But I have a feeling that would probably edge that one out. Because I mean, what's really the extent of costumes on the White Lotus? Is swimsuits?
I don't know. I don't watch the White
I haven't been able to bring myself to watch the third season.
I mean, I've seen.
Though I am always for Mike White giving more drunk acceptance speeches.
I have seen. Yeah, I don't even. Who know? He wasn't even there last time for season two. I have seen scenes of the White Lotus, and yeah, it's just a lot of a lot of the same tropes. um,
White people problems.
oh yeah, in a foreign country. Next one's gonna be in France.
White on white action, baby. And period costumes goes to Bridgerton. So finally, Netflix is on the board. Bridgerton can justify its existence for another season. David, a lot. I have not caught up with a lot of shows because I'm like, hey, I could watch something new, or I could watch the same episode of American Dad that I've seen 12 times before, and I know that makes me laugh. So you know what? That's what I'm going to go with. So let's see. So now we're waiting on contemporary costumes for a series. After that, we have contemporary costumes for limited anthology or movie. Nominees there are Adolescence, American Horror Stories, Dying for Sex, Penguin, and Sirens.
Wait, what is this?
This is contemporary costumes for limited or anthology.
Okay, Penguin.
I think it's either the Penguin or American Horror Stories. This category was just instituted last year, and it went to American Horror Story. So I think
Yeah,
that's one
but
where
but didn't have Penguin last year, so
that's true. That's true. So we'll wait and see on that.
I sound like I'm a huge fan of the Penguin, and I'm not. I mean, I think it's fine, but
I watched the first episode. I liked it. I need to finish the rest of it. Yes, David, I know I
the
still haven't watched it.
Centani was good. That's their best episode. And it's also why Kristen Milioti is going to win.
After that, we have fantasy sci-fi costumes. Nominees there are Agatha All Along for Follow Me, My Friend, to the Glory at the End, Andor for Harvest, Black Mirror for USS Callister Into Infinity, Dune Prophecy for The Hidden Hand, and House of the Dragon for The Burning Mill.
Okay, this one's tough. I would love it if Andor won, but
And I kind of just think like House of the Dragon kind of just fits that.
I don't know. Well, I mean, that season, which I have not watched, or nor have I seen the entirety of the show.
I
But
have
that
not watched one
based
episode
on,
of that, and I don't plan on
based
it.
on that season, nor have I watched any episodes of Game of Thrones. But that season, based on what I've heard from many people I know who are fans, to put it nice, to put it in quotes, fucking sucked.
And contemporary costumes for a series goes to the studio. So the studio has won its first one so far tonight. Good for them. Can imagine. I believe we have audio of Seth Rogen going. I shouldn't make fun of him because I actually know. I actually like what I've heard guys actually say. Oh, you know who I think is really sexy? I was like Seth Rogen, and I'm like, hmm. I have been told I am a dead ringer for him sometimes. No, I have not actually, and that was years ago, back before I lost all that weight.
Oh yeah, I told I looked like his character on Freaks and Geeks.
And we also got contemporary costumes for limited anthology series. Once again, the Penguin. Penguin goes up to 3.
Yeah, Penguin's gonna do well.
Penguin's going to do very well tonight. I don't think
Studio's
as
gonna
long
do
as as long
Studio's
as
gonna do
Adolescence wins casting, I really don't think there's anything for them to be worrying about.
Studio's gonna do well. Severance should do well. Pitt, Adolescence, and Studio. They're all gonna win casting. Um, if the Pitt loses casting, then that's fun. That's bad.
Yeah, I stubbornly had the Pit, stuck with the Pit, but I uh in drama series, I just either today or the other day changed it to Severance. After fantasy sci-fi costumes, which is the one we're waiting on right now, we go to period or fantasy sci-fi hairstyling. Nominees there are hello. My cat just crawled up on here. Hello. Um, we got Anne Rice's interview with the vampire, Bridgerton, House of the Dragon, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, and What We Do in the Shadows.
This makeup or hairstyle?
Hairstyling.
And Bridgerton.
Yeah, I think that's Bridgerton. Bridgerton's won it several times, so I would think that would definitely put that in there. After that, we have contemporary hairstyling. Nominees there are Abbott Elementary, Emily in Paris, Hacks, The Penguin, The Studio, and The White Lotus.
Oh gee, what's gonna win there? Yeah, Penguin is really benefiting from all these contemporary categories.
No kidding. Fantasy sci-fi costumes. Interesting win here goes to Andor.
Yay! Good on them. It should win writing, but it won't. And Diego should be nominated, but he's not.
I keep hearing that from people that he should, and
I'm not
and
even a
it kind of
Star,
makes me want to watch the show, but there's so much. It's like with the whole
not even
Marvel
a
shit.
Star
There's so,
Wars fan, so and the show's. I think the show's fantastic.
okay, that might give me the boost to finally watch it maybe in 6 months or something.
That's
Because you know
why. Yeah, that's the perfect time frame. That's why. Uh, that's why I like shows that are like very concrete, um, and very they have a plan and they like tell the story in that amount of time and then they just peace out. Um, Rather than like use take advantage of the IP system and just go on uh, unnecessarily and extraneously long. Then
I have been enjoying this new season of Peacemaker, though. I have been enjoying that.
I've heard good things about that.
It's just it's such a silly show, and I just love it because it is just so ridiculous and violent and hilarious, and also Freddie Stroma dancing around in his tidy whities, which I will never ever get tired of. After the two hairstyling categories, which we're now waiting on, we have production design for a narrative contemporary program, 1 hour or more. Nominees there are The Last of Us for Day One, The Penguin for Homecoming, The Residents for The Fall of the House of Usher, Severance for Shikai Bardo, and The White Lotus for Amor Fati. I'm pretty
This
sure those
one
last
I
two episode titles are just gibberish.
This one I can see the Penguin losing to Severance because that episode is. But I'll stick with the Penguin. Earlier I said the studio will take all the Bears awards. I should have also said the Penguin will also take all of the Last of Us awards.
I think also I would keep my eye though on the residents because that's it's recreating the White House, and so much is invested in those sets. I think that's something to at least keep an eye out for. Same way that you were kind of keeping your eye out for Andor in the costumes category. Which one is Chikai Bardo for Severance again? Which one is that? Is
Uh,
that the finale?
nope, it's the Gemma episode,
Hmm.
which is why I can't believe Deechan Lockman wasn't nominated and Patricia Arquette was, who she she, she appeared in more episodes than Patricia Arquette. So
Yeah, I was worried when I was watching that new season. I was worried that she would have to go into guest.
her standout episode, which was the one after, is like only 30 minutes long, and it wasn't as like it wasn't as like well received as the Chikai Bardo. So yeah, I think that could be a sneaker for directing. If I had to choose between Cold Harbor, which is the finale, and Chikai Bardo, I would vote for Chikai Bardo.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to re. I'm gonna have to re. I'm gonna have to at least re.
I
Uh,
think like Cold Harbor has like more like I don't know blocking and like movements and transitions and all that stuff.
it's the more directed episode.
Has more fancy colors and shit. But I think Chica Bardo just as like a standalone is very well crafted. The cinematography on that is beautiful too.
And no surprise here, period fantasy hairstyling goes to Bridgerton.
That's two.
Yes. I love that one of the people that's credited, that's a nominee here, is just their. Well, thanks for knocking that over, girl. Um, their job title is just barber. Emmy-winning barber Laura Sinnum.
Hey, in this economy, you do what you got to do.
In this economy, reminds me of Alex Edelman with his the four words he always uses when he doesn't know what else to say. Can you believe it? All right, so we're waiting for contemporary hairstyling. Okay, so we went over production design for 1 hour. Now we have half hour production design. Nominees there are Hacks for Slippery Slope, Mid Century Modern for Working Girls, Only Murders in the Building for Gates of Heaven, The Studio for The Note, and What We Do in the Shadows for Headhunting.
Yeah, another easy category for the studio. I don't even
I
know
don't
what that.
know. I mean,
I don't even know
Only
what that.
Murders
I don't even know what that episode is. So
Only Murders in the Building has won this the past 3 years, though.
what is that? What is that? I don't know what that episode. What is it? Gateway?
Gates of Heaven.
Oh, Gates of Heaven. I don't know. I still I'm gonna play it safe and go with the studio. My sweeper mentality.
I mean, when you go by recent years, I mean, it's not a wrong mentality to have.
Even last year, which was probably one of the most shocking years, in terms of the winners, like outside of Lamar Morris, you could see like how all the other winners how they all aligned.
The only one that I can give though for Slow Horses is because they're just entranced by Brits.
Yeah, and I guess they couldn't resist the name Will Smith.
That was one of the more amusing moments of the night last year.
The second while he was walking to the stage, I'm like, he's gonna make a Will Smith joke. He has to.
And he did, but he made it that the only one, and it was wonderful. It worked. It killed in the room.
And then there were people online that was saying like that was such in poor taste. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever.
What?
Yeah, that's what you get on Twitter.
This is why we can't have nice things. This is why we have that guy on the other side of the Potomac from me.
Yeah, that's why prepare when Oscar season comes around, you better prepare for those Timmy and Ariana stands.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of some of the ones that were, yeah, definitely like this to me. We got used to them after what was it? After Call Me by Your Name because we knew they were going crazy for that one.
I mean, I'll say this. This is all with the preface of if he gives a great performance in Marty Supreme, then great, power to him. But like all this shit about like saying like, oh, he's due or he's overdue or it's his time or
Ew.
all. I'm like the guy is not even 30.
It's not even 30. It's like saying like it's like when it's like when you look at how much he's accomplished in that time. It's like when I found out that 10 years ago that Xavier Dolan wasn't even 30 and he's winning prizes at the Cannes Film Festival. It's like go fuck yourself. We do have contemporary hairstyling. The Penguin.
Yeah, the second he gave that SAG speech, I was like, yep, people are gonna go crazy over this.
I heard some people being negative about that SAG speech. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. I thought it was.
No,
I
there
thought it was
was there
fine.
wasn't anything wrong. I think it's just like based on like how you interpret like I guess, your the tone of that speech and like, based on who you think what you think his demeanor is and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, he's a classic theater kid, so that doesn't. I mean, it doesn't. It didn't.
Just based
It,
on what your personal feeling of him is. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
and it also is like it also.
I will
I guess
say
it's also
they were using that. I will say there were a lot of people that were like using that as like, you should listen to him. This is what you should. This is what young actors or young or people starting in any career. That's what you should have that mentality. And I'm like, I don't think he was there to give advice.
I don't think anyone's really giving advice in their accepted speeches. Although I've heard it once or twice.
You can say a lot about that speech, but you cannot say he was giving advice to people.
It definitely wasn't.
It definitely wasn't a community speech or a speech about humility. It was just a speech about like this is what I want to be. So it was purely individual and self and for that
Self-serving.
well, I was about to say for your self interest, but I didn't want to. Yeah.
I mean, it's an acceptance speech. I mean, I don't think there's
Yeah,
anything. If there's one moment where there's nothing wrong with that, I would say, like, yeah, that's a moment where there's nothing wrong with it.
exactly.
Especially if you do like what Allison Janney did when she won her Oscar, just said, "I did it all myself."
Yeah.
Production design, narrative contemporary goes to Severance.
Good. No no
No
penguin.
Penguin.
I don't
So
even.
let's see. So
What do
now
you,
we're waiting.
I don't even know what that episode was for production design, but
Um, production. So we're waiting on half-hour production design. So production design for narrative, period, or fantasy will be coming after that, and the nominees there are Andor for Who Are You, Bridgerton for Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, Dune Prophecy for The Hidden Hand, 1923 for Rhapsody in Terror, and Pachinko for Chapter 13.
I would love it if Pachinko won. I hope it's not Bridgerton. I hope it's Andor.
Well, Andor winning costumes, it's definitely got to be a good sign there. People are actually, techs are actually watching and enjoying the show.
Also, it's its last season.
Isn't it only its second season?
Yeah, it's done.
Oh, they can't. Is it done or is it canceled?
It's done. They only wanted it for second seasons for 2 seasons.
Good for them on that. Good for Tony Gilroy for committing to that. Let's see. Okay, after that, we are getting into the casting categories, and we have casting for a drama series. Nominees there are The Last of Us, The Pit, Severance, Slow Horses, and The White Lotus.
I as tough as this category may seem, I think it's easily the Pit.
I think so
I
too.
really don't. I don't think the White Lotus is going to win for this season.
I honestly think that if
I think
I
it's
I would put it second though. I think I have it second in there
probably, but
because it is a completely new cast.
given how strong Severance is, I would put Severance in second.
I don't know. I really hope that the Pit wins. I love the I watched the teaser trailer for season 2 of the Pit. I'm so excited for it, especially because they brought back the farm boy. I can't remember the actor's name, but the farm boy who in every episode gets just fluids unloaded on him in that first season. Like in those first like 4 episodes, he has like 3 separate instances. He has to get new scrubs every single episode. He's gonna be back for the new season, so I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, but they're not going to bring back what's her name, the black woman who has a very sketchy religious religion.
Ooh, you mean the actress does?
Yeah,
Ooh.
I
Production design half hour does go to the studio.
yep. Yeah, I forgot what it was about, but it came out right after voting ended and before the nominations, and I was like, the first once I read it and saw how fucked up it was, I think it had something to do with homosexuality and like you know how religion and homosexuality how they get along, but like I
No, do tell.
once I read that, I was like, and read how fucked up it was, and the next thing I thought was like, if she gets nominated, this is gonna be so that would be fucking hilarious.
How dare you hold how dare you hold something that they can control against them? Let's see here. So let's see. We went through production design. So we're waiting on production design for period or fantasy now. We went through casting for a drama series. After casting for a drama series, we are getting to guest actor in a comedy series. Nominees there are John Bernthal for The Bear, and then Bryan Cranston, Dave Franco, Ron Howard, Anthony Mackie, and Martin Scorsese, all for The Studio.
Are any of them actually there? Well, I guess Ron Howard's a presenter, so
Ron Howard's presenting. I
yeah,
think Cranston might be there.
yeah. I know John Bernthal wasn't there last year
Yeah, he wasn't there last year.
or the year before. I always like to figure out who's gonna not show up to Creative Arts and at the primetime Emmys.
Well, they don't even have the guaranteed presenting slot anymore for the because it used to be that you would that the guest winners would usually present their genres directing category. Um, and that just sort of
And
fizzled away.
I mean that was a time waster.
And well, here we go. Production design, fantasy or period goes to Andor.
Man, I have been right every first guess I had. Even if I said, oh, it's either this or the other show, the first one would always win.
So that's 2 for Andor.
Yeah, I should do.
But yeah, I mean, guest actor in a comedy to me, it's got to be Cranston, and this would be Emmy number 7 for him, I believe. He won 4 for He won 4 for acting for Breaking Bad. He won 2 as a producer.
Oh yeah, I was trying to think what he won between Breaking Bad. No.
I don't think he's won any since Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot Breaking Bad won twice for drama series.
Well, yeah. Well, the first one was kind of an upset, and then the second one was the year where it was still it managed to sustain that momentum. Because I think it was the week after the Emmy it won that first Emmy was the week after it won the first Emmy was when the finale aired, I believe.
Yeah.
And it held that momentum throughout, so good for them on that. Sure enough, drama casting, The Pit.
Good, we got a race.
Good for them.
Maybe, I don't know.
That's one where I'm waiting for the directing award.
I don't know. I really don't. If The Pit wins directing, I'd be kind of shocked. I mean, that would be a real sever. I mean, I know that would be a real true vote splitting category, but I'm like, Severance is like if you look at the technical achievements between Severance and the Pit, like that Severance has that in a landslide. So the Pit would really have to like have that passion because like I that part one of the massacre shooting that really does it does have a lot of like good blocking and like a lot of like intensity in it. Um, but yeah, like I Severance, if you just like look at that show and like how all the transitions and all the technical achievements, that's like this the equivalent of Steven Zalian winning for Ripley over Baby Reindeer.
True.
Yeah,
After guest actor in a comedy series, which is the one we're waiting on now, we have casting for a comedy series. Nominees there are The Bear, Hacks, Only Murders in the Building, Shrinking, and The Studio.
yeah. I switched to the studio like a month ago, and if it wins this, it will solidify. I think Hacks is not going to win because I in this popular voting era, I highly doubt Lightning will strike twice for Hacks, where it loses casting and wins series 2 years in a row.
That would be something though. And part of me, I was so devastated last year because I kept Hacks in for the longest time, and then after the Bear did so well at Creative Arts last year, I did switch. And so when Hacks ended up pulling off the upset, I was so annoyed at myself.
That's the thing with these creative arts. A lot of these shows are gonna do well here and not do and not win that much the week after. Like we all knew the Bear would do very well. Um,
And then we have casting for a limited or anthology. Nominees there are Adolescence, Black Mirror, Dying for Sex, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, and The Penguin. And it's got to be Adolescence. And if it isn't, they should be that would be worrying.
I really think if there is a sweep of everything, it will be Adolescence.
What did you think of Adolescence?
It was fine. I liked its technical achievements. That's the same. A lot of these shows recently that I've seen. I admire their technical achievements, their storytelling or their writing, and the acting. The acting most of it's good. The storytelling and the writing sometimes kind of underwhelms me, especially. I always have this rule. I call this. I don't call it happened way before Barbie, but I call this the Barbie rule. The more hyped something is, the lower my expectations are. Um,
Yeah, no, I get that.
and so when I finally watched it, I'm like, episode three, episode one, those are their best. The ending is like, I don't want to call it a cop out. Like I understand the ending and I understand how it got there. But in terms of what it was trying to say, I think, and this is how I feel about a lot of award nominated films and movies. Like I feel like it could have gone further.
Yeah, I was definitely on that feeling last year with The Brutalist.
Yeah.
I did I most of the, throughout most of that movie I was just indifferent. And then the last 20 minutes happened and I was like, yeah, no, I am not. I am actively disliking this. Um with Adolescence, the weird thing about it is that for me, I may have to watch it again because I don't think it the when they revealed the video footage at the end of that first episode, when they revealed that the CCTV footage where they actually have him committing the crack, from what I just thought he was punching her, not stabbing her. So I didn't think so. I didn't. So I was like, oh, this kind of like gets more interesting as to whether or not he did. And so I didn't realize until like midway through the second episode because I'm completely clueless.
Yeah, disclaimer. This is a spoiler. This is a spoiler warning for everyone. Um, for yeah, I mean, I'm glad. I'm really surprised they put Owen Cooper in supporting. They should have put Stephen Graham in supporting. Owen Cooper is clearly the lead.
I really think just everybody in that is supporting because I don't think anybody appears in more than two episodes.
Right. Yeah, but strategically, they always got to put someone in lead. They're not Modern Family.
Let's see, what do we have coming up? I know we might be having juried awards or something like that, so let me double check that. Oh, we don't have juried awards for a little bit. Okay. So let's see. After limited casting, we know they're going through. This is one of the few. The guest categories are where they actually have clips that they play during the ceremony. So we are waiting on that. Um, After that, we will have we get into stunts, and first one is stunt coordination for comedy programming. Nominees there are Cobra Kai, Only Murders in the Building, Poker Face, The Righteous Gemstones, and Tulsa King, which I did not know was competing in comedy.
Is that Sylvester Stallone or Jeremy Renner?
That's the Sylvester Stallone show.
Yeah, there are too many Taylor Sheridan shows with like all these like random A-listers that I don't know. I guess they get offered a lot of money to do his shows or something. Um,
We should throw a shout out to Rob because we know he loves Tulsa King.
wait, what is this category?
This is stunt coordination for comedy.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you're just looking at this, I mean, Cobra Kai seems like the standout
Yeah,
there.
probably.
So Tulsa King, I think, is the real wild card there.
I mean, do they even watch? Do the Emmy voters even watch Taylor Sheridan shows?
Well, they watched that. The stunt people watched that one at least. And then Poker Face sometimes has some cool stunts on it, so we'd have to wait and see which one it is. We are still waiting for guest actor in a comedy series. Maybe Bryan Cranston is not shutting up and he's still just letting his and maybe he brought his daughter on stage and let her give a speech because she won't be able to give one next week.
Yeah, that show will explode and nominate. Well, I fully expect that show, and it always happens every year specifically in the drama supporting races, where like two shows dominate 95% of this category, with whether it's White Lotus, Succession, Squid Game, like all of that. Yeah, the pit is gonna dominate those supporting categories next year.
Oh, I should probably order dinner. What? My cat won't shut up.
I'm surprised, like, given those drama supporting races, they still managed to squeeze in Paradise for both categories.
They still managed to squeeze in what?
Paradise for both categories, at the expense of Jack Loudon and Allison Janney. I don't think the Diplomat is nominated anywhere except those two, except Kerry Russell and Drama Series. I don't think it's nominated anywhere tonight.
Oh, Bryan Cranston did win. I'm sorry, I missed that. Bryan Cranston did win guest actor in a comedy.
Yeah, see, this is going very smoothly.
And we also just got comedy casting did in fact go to the studio, and limited casting did go to adolescents.
I can't wait for the music categories. then we should see some surprises there, aka the only category Shogun lost.
All right, so now we're waiting for stunt for comedy. After that, we have stunts for drama programming. Nominees there are The Boys, FBI Most Wanted, Lioness, The Penguin, and The Rookie.
Boys.
I mean, I'm kind of thinking just Penguin, but hey, The Boys would be Boys is prime material right there too. All right, and stunts for comedy goes to The Righteous Gemstones.
Wow.
I mean, good for them. That is a really funny show.
People were thinking Bradley Cooper was going to make guest actor, and I was like, no.
That man is finally going to win a competitive award after he gets honorary awards. I still always love on BoJack Horseman. There's a great episode where they're doing the Oscar nominations, and one of the characters is trying to distract the people from the Oscars, and he goes, "Look, it's Bradley Cooper," and the guy from the Oscar goes, "Bradley Cooper? We love him for some reason." Which I think is kind of mean because I actually have always loved Bradley Cooper. Going back to, I remember when he was on that Fox show Kitchen Confidential, uh, based on Anthony Bourdain's book, and I remember just looking at
um,
him going, that man is gorgeous, and I will watch anything he is in.
he was on that Jennifer Garner show.
Oh, Alias, yeah, that's right. He was on that too. Yeah. After drama stunt coordination, we have stunt performance. Nominees there are The Boys, FBI Most Wanted, The Penguin, The Rookie, and Severance.
Probably Penguin.
I mean, yeah, I am just like, um, I kind of think The Boys or The Penguin might have that. It's interesting that they do have a specific category that is specifically for the stunt performers.
Mm-hmm. Which the Oscars will do.
It would be amazing if we got stunt coordination and stunt performance. Oh, nice. Knocked over a box of Q-tips. Nice, Kitty. To Ryland's question, yes, we're on Twitter, and we also do have some friends in the press room. Uh, so and they're the people that are giving us the live uh, updates on that. Stunt drama goes to The Boys.
Oh shit.
That's a show I should really give a chance to. I keep on hearing good things about it.
I can't believe Giancarlo Esposito was nominated. Like I thought he used to be nominated for the seasons of Better Call Saul, which he was barely on, and for The Mandalorian, and then all of a sudden they just stopped nominating him. And I was like, okay, I guess, his time has come. His time is gone. And yeah, and then he just pops out of nowhere for The Boys.
After that, we have animated program. The nominees there are Arcane, League of Legends for The Dirt Under Your Nails, Bob's Burgers for They Slug Horses, Don't They? Common Side Effects for Cliff's Edge, Love, Death, and Robots for Spider Rose, and The Simpsons for Bart's Birthday.
This
I gotta think.
category always has a different winner every year, don't they?
Yeah, we haven't had repeat winners in a while. If Arcane were to win, this would be the first repeat winner in a while. Although The Simpsons did win 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was really random.
Yeah, well, both The Simpsons that 2 years ago, and then I think it was in 2019 they beat BoJack Horseman for that for the first time BoJack got nominated, and I flipped out on camera. Um, and what was really funny is that I think we had them ranked last in our odds that year, and I wrote up the article um, of uh, of saying the Simpsons shocks an animated program category. Sure enough, Al Jean, who's the showrunner on The Simpsons, later the following year, I was interviewing him, and he said, "Yeah, we saw this headline, and I decided to tweet it out about how The Simpsons shocked in the category, and I tweeted it out with the line Dewey defeats Truman." And I had to look it up, and I said, "Yeah, that was my article." It's interesting. I think Arcane, I think, is probably out front for this, but Love, Death, and Robots, when they didn't have a separate short form category this year. So, but when they've done that, Love, Death, and Robots has done very well there.
I mean, didn't they win a bunch of jury prizes like not too long ago?
Oh yeah, they won a lot of jury prizes. They've won jury prizes several years that they've been up, and I think they even won when they had the combined sound editing for comedy, drama, and animation. Although I believe this year they have sound editing specifically for anime. They have their own standalone category for animation this year. Stunt performance goes to The Boys. So The Boys wins 2 Emmys this year.
More than Hacks.
More than Better Call Saul's entire run.
Yeah, don't remind me. When the fucking Idol has more Emmy wins than Better Call Saul.
I still will never forget Peter Dinklage getting on stage that year that he beat Jonathan Banks, and he was completely shocked, and he wanted to acknowledge the other nominees. The only one he could think of was Jonathan Banks.
Yeah. Yeah, he did not look happy that.
He did not. And in all fairness, Jonathan Banks never looks happy.
That's true. I'm
After animated program, we have character voiceover performance, where nominees there are Julie Andrews for Bridgerton for Into the Light, Hank Azaria for The Simpsons, A League of Their Mo, Maya Rudolph for Big Mouth, Why Do We Go Through Puberty, Alan Tudyk for Andor, Who Else Knows, Jeffrey Wright for What If 1872, and Stephen Yeun for Invincible, What Have I Done?
It's always going to be my.
I mean, yeah, I don't think she's ever lost this category. Yeah, she's won it 4 times in the past 5 years.
Yeah, the only time she lost was because Chadwick Boseman for obvious reasons.
Yep. Though I would love it if Alan Tudyk won, because he's Alan Tudyk and he's just been doing such great work for so many years. Back to the animated program category, I had so many people tell me that they loved Common Side Effects, and I tried to watch it, and I thought it was interesting, but I just couldn't get into it. Which is weird because it involves, like Mike Judge and Greg Daniels, and I would think like something from them I would really actively respond to, but this is a much more subdued show. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I will have to watch K-pop Demon Hunters.
Same.
Oh God, that's actually gonna win. I think It doesn't look like this year looks very weak for animated feature.
It does look very weak.
And we know
But
they're
part
not.
of me was also hoping that could result in something, like along the lines of, like another Boy in the Heron, or like something that's also a documentary or a foreign language film or something.
I mean, it is K-pop. It technically is foreign. So I mean,
Is it
they
actually Korean? Is it actually Korean?
I don't. But their songs are not bad. I will say if they submit like they're probably going to get two of their songs nominated, and that's good. Um,
Following character voiceover, we have our first round of juried awards, and this is for the individual achievement in animation. Let me I actually have those up here. And that is actually, there are six awards being awarded, but they are for a total of, like we were saying with certain categories, a total of two shows. Arcane is winning one for background design and one for color. And Love, Death, and Robots is winning one for production design, one for storyboarding, one for character animation, and one for character design. I've always wondered how they go through those, because that's got to be an amazingly tedious process to go through.
yeah, they should do jury categories more often.
Animated program does go to Arcane League of Legends, so congratulations to Netflix on that. And like Andor, it's just two seasons of that show, and it's won both of them. So I mean, that's a pretty impressive feat right there.
How many has Penguin won already? Three, four?
I think they've won five. Let me just go through here. Contemporary non-prosthetic makeup, prosthetic makeup, contemporary costumes, contemporary hairstyling. Okay, it's won four so far. And the studio, I think, has won three so far. No, that's also won four so far. I'm sorry.
Oh,
And apparently Bryan Cranston was not there. He had a wedding to go to.
they actually said that. The presenter actually said that.
We have someone say, we have a friend of ours saying that he had a wedding to go to. Let's see here. Um, let's see. After we get these juried program, after we get the juried categories, we got choreography for scripted programming. The nominees there are Bridgerton, Doctor Who. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. I want to say Etoile or Etoile. I don't know how to. Do you know how to pronounce that?
No, but yeah, I know what show you're talking about.
Yeah. Thank you, Prime. Uh, Severance.
The newly canceled show.
Okay. Oh, is that the one? Is that the ballet show from
Yeah, from the
the
creators.
Palladinos?
The creators of Maisel.
Maisel. Yeah. Okay. Severance and Will Trent.
Will Trent. I don't know. I did hear good stuff about Doctor Who, but I don't know that one.
It would be incredible if the only Emmy Doctor Who ever wins was for choreography. I find that immensely amusing.
I mean, I also did take a risk in one of the music categories, which I'll talk about later when we get to it. I think it was like theme music or something, because that category is mostly canceled shows and The White Lotus, which I didn't like the season 3 theme.
Wow, I think we got an upset in character voiceover. The Emmy goes to Julie Andrews for Bridgerton.
Okay, cool. How
I
many
really hope Maya Rudolph stormed out of the theater after that happened.
how many years has she been nominated? Like the entire show?
Yeah, it's ever not the first season because the show only got into the music in one of the music categories the first season, but since then I think she's been up for every season.
Okay, cool. Well, my
What I think is actually very funny though is that after is that she was probably ready to get out of her seat, and then when Julie Andrews' name was called, she's sitting down, and Paul Thomas Anderson sitting next to her goes, "Yeah, sucks, doesn't it?"
like Paul Thomas Emerson ever goes to the Emmys.
Well, I mean, are they married or are they just
I
long
think
term
they're just
partners?
yeah long term, but PTA never steps foot on the Emmys. One battle after another. They're that marketing team is doing a lot of fancy stuff. They're airing it during fucking football season. I feel everyone
What's
who's
this you're talking about?
uh one battle after another. PTA's next movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're really because no one is sure how that movie's going to perform, and I'm like, it'll be fine. Like the critics are gonna love it. It's PTA, and in terms of audience reception, I mean, I don't know how it's going to do at the box office, but I feel like awards wise, it'll be fine, especially adapted screenplay, which that category is empty as fuck. But yeah, it's like it'll be, and it probably will get in Best Picture unless like I don't know, three international films make the category or something.
What do you have? I'm curious. What do you have as your in your number one slot in Best Picture right now?
Sentimental value. I
Okay.
don't buy this Sinners stuff. I do buy it in director, but I don't buy Sinners yet. Although it's not get it out of all places where I would think sentimental value would drop in viability. I never thought it would be TIFF. People at Toronto apparently are like not too high on it now.
Maybe they're having the same thing you have because of all the good reviews that came out of Cannes for it.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Jay Kelly. Jay Kelly got bombed at Venice, and then it went to Telluride, and everyone said it was fine. It was good. Um,
Well, I think it's also definitely Telluride feels like more of a receptive ground
it's also
to.
more, yeah. Jay Kelly is also more of an American Hollywood movie than an internet.
I was just thinking Noah Baumbach in general.
Yeah,
Though anything is better than his last movie, White Noise. I hated that movie.
I actually liked White. I thought
I I hated that movie so
I didn't
much.
like Marriage Story.
I love Marriage
I thought
Story.
that fight scene was so. I felt that was so forced.
I loved it.
Um, I do like Francis Ha though.
Yeah, I think I have right now. I think I just I'm sticking with Jafar Panahi's. It was just an accident.
For
Right now is
picture?
what's that?
For picture?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
why not? Why not? I mean, the Nora. I mean, the
It's
Nora.
not gonna get any acting nominations.
True, true.
And yeah, Neon, I don't know what Neon's doing. It's got a lot
They
of
have sentimental value too, right?
they have every international film contender. No Other Choice by Park Chan-wook, um which didn't win at Venice to a lot of people's surprise. They have The Secret Agent with Wagner Moura. Sentimental Value, Just an Accident. That pretty much occupies like almost all of the international film category. Um,
Well, we also got to see if any country is going to submit. It was just an accident.
yeah, I think France will. I France is France is not. They haven't had such luck with their decision making in terms of the Oscars, but I think they're smart enough to submit it was just an accident. And I'm sure there's another country that I'm forgetting that isn't Iran that is also
Well, Germany did it last year for Iran with
yeah, See the
"See
Sacred,
the Sacred Fig."
which I did not like. Yeah, last year's international film category was weak. Although I haven't seen Girl with the Needle yet, which I am not probably not will not for a while because of how devastatingly bleak it is. I've heard it is.
Yeah, I don't know if I could bring myself to watch, and I could bring myself to watch some pretty twisted shit, but that one seems like it's a bit of a bit of a stretch for me.
Yeah. Yeah, right now I just have sentimental value just out of just for whatever. Because I think Stellan Skarsgård, I think he's got his what a supporting actor in the bag. Because they're sure as shit not going to give it to Adam Sandler on his first nomination.
And choreography for scripted program goes to the one show I can't pronounce the damn name of, Etoile.
I think that's how you pronounce it. Wait, was this the category the fucking Idol one last year?
Yes.
Yeah, they got a thing for canceled shows.
Yeah, were you talking about blind spotting just a moment ago?
Was I talking about what?
Blind spotting? Or I was talking with someone else about that. I was talking with someone else about that because
Oh,
that show won the choreography category 2 years ago.
yeah, I didn't. I never heard of the show.
Now we are moving on to picture editing. So our first one is picture editing for single camera comedy series. Nominees are The Bear for Tomorrow, Hacks for I Love LA, The Rehearsal for My Controls, The Rehearsal for Pilot's Code, The Studio for The Promotion, and What We Do in the Shadows for the finale.
The Rehearsal really should have made comedy series in a field of, especially in that weird ass directing category where there's only fucking five nominees, even though there's supposed to be six. So for the fact that the Rehearsal with the multi-camera rule, the fact that the Rehearsal can make at least the top four in directing and does still can't make the top eight in comedy. That's weird.
Okay, and The Studio wins picture editing. That is their fifth one of the evening.
It's literally following in the Bears' footsteps.
Yep. uh, making me want to rethink that supporting actor thing that put in Ike Barinholtz there.
That is the category I am the most hesitant on.
Next, we got picture editing for a multi-camera comedy series. Nominees there are The Connors for The Truck Stops Here, Frasier for My Brilliant Sister, Mid-Century Modern for Here's to You, Mrs. Schneiderman, and two episodes of The Upshaws, one called By Now and the other one called Grifter Grifter.
What's with this branch and them always awarding the Upshaws? Like I think they nominate every year they nominate two of these episodes for editing. I don't.
And it still hasn't been able to win.
Well, yeah, because it's two. They vote split, obviously. Um,
And we got multi-camera editing is Frasier.
huh. Yeah, this they
There's something that hasn't been said in a hot minute. The
they
Emmy goes
also
to Frasier.
yeah, that's another category that they like to award canceled shows because I think they did How I Met Your Father too.
They did How I Met Your Father twice actually.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have the in memoriam reel is going on right now, and after that we will have guest actress in a drama series. Nominees there are Jane Alexander for Severance, Gwendolyn Christie for Severance, Caitlin Dever for The Last of Us, Cherry Jones for The Handmaid's Tale, Catherine O'Hara for The Last of Us, and Merritt Weaver for Severance.
If Caitlin Dever doesn't win this, then the actors really hate The Last of Us because that's probably the one branch that is like saving this show in terms of Emmy nominations.
Probably. Though part of me is just because she's pulled off these wacky upsets here before. I'm always wary of Cherry Jones.
I predicted her the first time, the last for Succession when Storm Reed won for The Last of Us because it was
I was the only person predicting Storm
just
Reed.
them. It was literally just them, Succession and Last of Us. I was like, okay, it was just those two shows.
I was so proud of myself for predicting Storm Reed. Because I was looking at him and I'm like,
And I am,
yeah,
I'm
there's
sure,
like there's like no one else is close to this. Storm Reed is heads and tails above the rest of them.
I'm certain, like that's The Handmaid's Tale's only nomination.
It is,
Yeah,
which is a shame because the last season was fantastic.
yeah, I've heard those. Yeah. I'm surprised Elizabeth Moss didn't make well because she was last season she was The Handmaid's Tale's only nomination.
Come here. I wonder if Merritt Weaver were to win, if she would top her record for shortest accepted speech. But this one,
If she's there.
if she, that is a very good qualifier. We do know that Gwendolyn Christie is there.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was a good red carpet look. It's funny how
I would also kind of love if she won because I think it's just like because I think it's such a bizarre role.
Yeah.
And it's one of those it's just like it's so out there, but I kind of love it.
It's funny that Deaver and Weaver are both nominated here when they both missed for that Netflix show Unbelievable. It's very shockingly. I that was a surprise.
All right, go on. And speaking of things that were unceremoniously screwed, I still, I know it kind of was, it wasn't too much of a surprise for some people, but I was still kind of surprised that Squid Game got nothing.
Yeah, I did think it would get some texts. And next season we'll probably get nothing either,
Yeah, it's probably not going to get anything after.
unless it's a weak technical field, um, or if Kate Blanchett is somehow eligible for guest.
Well, I don't think you have to have dialogue because Mark Margolis. Remember, Mark Margolis got nominated for Breaking Bad, playing Hector Salamanca. No dialogue, and he was the first in our odds that year.
Really? Okay.
Yes, he was. Yeah, can't remember who actually won that one though.
Davies.
Was that
Jeremy Davies. Justified.
Was that the year that he was?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Justified's only nomination. I mean, there were times that Robert Morse got in for Mad Men, especially those later seasons, and I was like, does he even have a fucking tape?
Yeah, I remember after the finale of his last season on the show, everyone was like, "Oh, is he finally going to win this one?" I was like, "No, no, that's not happening."
Literally, if they didn't change their voting system, John Hamm would still be Emmyless.
You mean if they had changed it, or
If they hadn't, if they stuck to the jury panel voting,
instead of
John
opening
Hamm
it up,
John Hamm would still be Emmyless.
it's probably true.
There's a lot of things that would have happened if the popular voting system was like 5 years or 10 years earlier. There's a lot of wins that wouldn't have happened. Tony Shalhoub wouldn't have won for any of his Emmys. Um, Bryan Cranston probably wouldn't have won for the first season of Breaking Bad.
But he really, I mean, that first season, he really benefited from that voting, from the way that it was structured. And that was a stacked year. That was one of the tough. That was a tough year. A lot of people don't remember that was a because you did have John Hamm for Mad Men, but if you want to get on the more some of the episodes, you had James Spader for Boston Legal, and it's the episode where it's the first time he argues in front of the Supreme Court,
and he never lost.
And he had never lost at that point. You also had Hugh Laurie for House, for the episode House's Head, which won the directing award that year.
Yeah, the bus crash one,
which he is excellent in. I'm trying to remember who else was in there. There were a couple.
Dexter and probably
that's right. Yeah, Michael C. Hall for Dexter,
and the In Treatment, I think.
Yeah, Gabriel Byrne for In Treatment. Yeah,
it had six. That back and all the other back when all the other categories had five.
Interesting choice. Drama guest actress goes to Merritt Wever.
Okay, The Last of Us is fucked.
Seems that the last of the Emmy wins for The Last of Us was 2 years ago.
Jeffrey Wright's probably not going to win either. I mean, I think I have whatever his name is for The Pit.
Hattasey.
Yeah.
All right. Now we are back with our editing nominees. We have picture editing for a drama series. Nominees there are Andor for Who Are You, The Last of Us for Through the Valley, Severance for 3 episodes of Severance, Attila, Chikai Bardo, and Cold Harbor, and The White Lotus for Amor Fati.
Imagine all that shit I said about The White Lotus and it wins this category. Yeah,
we're truly living in the darkest timeline if that happens.
Yeah, this is one where we'll see if vote splitting is a thing. I mean, I couldn't personally decide between those 3 Severance episodes. I mean, I think this category usually does. I know Game of Thrones would lose a lot of this category a lot. But last Through the Valley, that's a well edited episode. At least that first half.
I mean, I think
Andor is really good. That's a well edited episode. White Lotus is, it has that, shootout, whatever.
And it's also just the nature of having those multiple, that ensemble storyline, that sort of thing that helped Crash win the editing award at the Oscars back in 20 years ago.
Yeah, man, fuck Crash.
Jesus Christ, that was 20 years ago. My God. I mean, I think this has got to be though Cold Harbor because it has all those quick cuts in it, and
probably we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if Severance lost this category.
Following that,
the only one I would be shocked is if I would be shocked if White Lotus won this category, even though it does have that shootout, which is whatever.
Following that, we have picture editing for a limited or anthology program. Nominees there are Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story for Blame It on the Rain, 3 episodes of The Penguin, Bliss, Centani, and Centani. Thank you. And A Great or Little Thing, and Sirens for the episode Exile.
Have you seen Sirens?
I have not. See, I think of Sirens, I think of the USA comedy series that aired, I think, for 1 or 2 seasons about paramedics, which was a very funny show.
Yeah, I can't believe that directing category. That still fucking blows my mind, especially Zero. I get Leslie Linka Glatter as the president of the DGA, but she couldn't even get in for Love and Death 2 years ago, which got in for Jesse Plemons, and And so like I didn't think like that would be happening. Um, and back then, and even back then, that's when the strikes were like, at its were when the strikes were at its most like vital. Um, but yeah, that's definitely something to look out for in the future. Honestly, I can see the Penguin winning this. I don't know. Sentani, I could see winning this. I just I just don't think monsters or sirens is strong enough.
If either monsters or sirens wins, they have to thank the Penguin for submitting so many episodes on the nominating ballot. Following that, we have outstanding main title design. Nominees there are Dark Matter, The Decameron, House of the Dragon, The Penguin, Severance, and The White Lotus.
Severance.
It's got to be Severance. It won it for its first. This might be the first one that has a repeat win.
It's got this title design was even better than the first
It,
season.
it absolutely was. It absolutely was. It was so intricate, and it's haunting. That's the other thing. It's a haunting opening. I think it's the combo uh of the way the title is designed, but also that theme music is very unsettling for me.
That's why I have it in no what a lot of people aren't predicting it for music. They're predicting Andor, which I get, but like if you
Which music category? The original score one?
yeah, the composition one. I'm like, I think it's Severance by a landslide.
Are they going with are they going with Andor because is that the Nicholas Bertel one?
Yeah, but he has never won.
He didn't
Since
even
since the theme song of Succession, he has never
Succession. Yeah,
won.
okay, he did win for that.
But he never won for like composing the score of that show. He hasn't won an Emmy since. And I'm like, even for stuff that I thought he would win for the last season. And then it went to the White Lotus, I think, which I was like, okay, sure. Um, which is why I don't think, given all the beef that composer has with Mike White, especially all the public statements, I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know.
what did the public say? I missed this. What
I
is
don't know.
this?
He had some controversy that they cut off the White. He cut off like some of the White Lotus season 3 theme song, which is like pretty much a continuation of like the one you hear now, and then a little bit more of like what you hear in season 2. And then Mike White cut it off, or somebody cut it off, and then he just went on, did some interview bashing Mike White, and then Mike White responded saying like he's like a baby or something. I don't know.
Well, I think we can safely say in these two editing categories, vote splitting is definitely a thing. Picture editing for a drama series goes to Andor,
Yes. Fuck yeah.
and picture editing for a limited or anthology series or movie goes to Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story.
I was like, if Sirens won, I would have, cut my, thing off.
Uh,
Yeah. Any listeners out there, take that in.
let's see, while we're waiting on title design, then we get into the always captivating sound editing categories.
Wait, we did picture editing for comedy, right? That was
Yes, it was the studio for single camera and Frasier for multicam.
right. Yeah.
So first one, sound editing for comedy or drama of 1 hour. Nominees are Andor, The Last of Us, The Pit, and Severance.
It's got to be Severance. I mean, Last of Us has that nice battle. Or that actually it could be Andor. Yeah.
Andor's won 3 so far tonight.
The pit. This episode of the pit, which is the second part of the massacre thing, that is the one I thought that would get in directing.
I guess so those two so the 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. are directed by different people, I guess.
Yeah, and they were both submitted for directing along with John Wells. Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
part of me just wants to go
this
for the
should
sound
be.
editing. I kind of want to go with Andor because
Yeah,
it's a
I think
sci-fi
it should
show.
be Andor. Like, if it can win this, sound is like cakewalk.
Yeah, and that would give Andor 4 wins so far tonight.
Yeah, because it's not going to win any next week.
Okay, I'm getting something here. Um, I'm seeing visual effects right now. I don't know why that is coming up here. Let me take a look here. All right. Apparently, they went to visual effects. Where did I have that?
Which one?
Um, Hold on. I'll buzz you in. Outstanding special visual effects in a season or movie goes to Andor, apparently.
Nice.
Let me find that.
Yeah, yeah, it's the same stuff. Dune, House of the Dragon, Last of Us, and Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's easy Andor. Um,
Cinematography.
it's too bad the Pit wasn't nominated in editing. Oh, not yeah, editing.
Yeah, it wasn't in editing.
Too bad. Would have won that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a nice use on. I must have left them somewhere. Oh yeah, I left the visual effects categories here. So yeah, so special visual effects in a season or movie nominees were Andor, Dune Prophecy, House of the Dragon, The Last of Us, and The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. No surprise there. Andor gets its fourth win.
Yeah, and then the one for single episode is Black Mirror, USS Callister, Penguin for the Bliss episode, Residence, Follow the House of Usher, Severance for the premiere, yeah, Hello Miss Coble, and The Umbrella Academy, End of the Beginning. Yeah, I'm finding out all these shows are still airing.
And okay, so we'd have main title design does in fact go to Severance. So good for them on that. And visual effects for a single episode goes to the Penguin. I believe that's number 5 for them. So yeah, I still think that Andor's probably your favorite in sound editing.
Oh yeah, it's got if it loses that at this point,
Yeah, after winning those other four,
probably has sound mixing too.
probably. Um, Let me just double check here. All right, so now we are at the next set of juried awards, which is for motion design. You just take a look here at what we got here. Let's see, motion design. And motion design is a juried award that is being awarded to a show called Octopus, which is literally called Octopus because it has an exclamation mark at the end.
Makes sense.
It's not just octopus, it's octopus. Did they not give you a goddamn straw? Motherfuckers didn't give me a straw. Swear to God, you get good help these days. Get my ass up. Get my own straw.
You just chug it down.
Nothing like fountain Coca-Cola. Nothing like fountain Coca-Cola.
Chug it down like the cavemen.
Was that?
Just chug it down like the cavemen.
Following sound editing for comedy or drama, let's see. We have sound editing for limited or anthology. Nominees are Adolescence for episode 1, Black Mirror for USS Callister into Infinity, The Gorge, The Penguin for After Hours, and Star Trek Section 31.
The Gorge. I wonder if anyone can name all the nominees for television movie right now off the top of their.
Hell, I don't even think I can. I know I can get Rebel Ridge,
Gorge,
Mountainhead, and Bridget
Bridget
Jones.
Jones. I don't know the last one.
I mean, how could I forget the Gorge? Oh yeah, the Gorge is one of them.
Yeah.
And Nanas.
Oh yeah. Because I there was one called The Supremes Earls All You Can Eat,
Can he?
which
Yeah,
is nominated for music, which I just listened to like casually, which has it's not a bad score. But I knew that didn't make it in.
yeah. I was predicting that would get it in my nomination predictions. I mean, the sound editing for a limited anthology, part of me just thinks like, I don't know what to think though. I mean, I guess maybe the Penguin,
Obviously, the Penguin.
but I mean, this is something where I think we could see, Star Trek Section 31 or Black Mirror possibly.
Yeah, I think it's the Penguin.
And interesting sound editing for comedy or drama series 1 hour goes to The Last of Us.
Okay, that makes sense. Should be Andor, but whatever.
Yeah, honestly, of those four, I would have ranked it fourth.
I mean, I get it. It's the battle scene, it's loud, all that shit. But yeah.
After sound editing for limited or anthology, we have sound editing for half-hour comedy or drama. Nominees there are The Acolyte for Night, Agatha All Along for Darkest Hour / Wake Thy Power, The Bear for Doors, The Righteous Gemstones for Prelude, and the studio for the Golden Globes. Yep.
Hmm. Next.
I mean, part of me just thinks it's probably the studio.
I mean, I haven't. Wait, what is Prelude the Bradley Cooper episode? Yeah.
Hmm. Following that, we have the new standalone sound editing for an animated program category. Nominees there are Arcane for The Dirt Under Your Nails, Love, Death, and Robots for 400 Boys, Secret Level for Warhammer 40,000, They Shall Know No Fear, Star Trek Lower Decks for the new Next Generation, and What If for What If 1872.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of these.
I would go with Arcane, but Love, Death, and Robots has won this category back when it was incorporated with the other uh, when it was incorporated with drama comedy half hour. So keep an eye out for that, I guess. I have a feeling we're going to get a. It is one of those things where we're just going to get it one right after the other.
Yeah, that's what I like about these awards. No commercials, so they all go under 3 hours. It would mainly be like around 2.5.
And I think we are getting a winner for sound editing for limited or anthology. Winner is the Penguin. I believe that's number 6 for them. Let's see. So after sound editing for comedy or drama half hour, we have sound editing for. Oh, we did do sound editing for an animated program.
Mm-hmm.
Then we are on sound mixing for limited or anthology. And the nominees there are Adolescence for episode 1, Black Mirror for USS Callister into Infinity, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story for Blame on the Rain, The Penguin for After Hours, and Zero Day for episode 6.
0 day.
I mean, it's got to be, I think it's got to be The Penguin.
It's always the Penguin.
Let me check our chat and see what other, if we got any other questions. Let's see here. Yes, we are the only ones reacting to this on YouTube.
Yeah, everyone else is on like those Twitter feeds. What do they call those things? Those Twitter where they it's just audio.
Oh, Spaces.
Yeah, spaces, whatever the fuck
Oh, we actually interesting. Allie says that her brother is nominated for the sound editing for animation. Which program is he nominated for? Let us know.
I mean, those sound categories have like 10 people. So
But yeah, it's cool. I like doing this also because I remember a couple of years ago um, when so he's up for so he writes so he's a sound editor on Star Trek Lower Decks.
That's nice. Hold
And
on.
sure enough, sound editing for half hour comedy or drama goes to the studio.
Seven. Yeah, that's seven people on Star Trek Lower Decks. One woman, if I'm reading the names right. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So yeah, so we're waiting for that now. Let's see here. Um Allie just wrote that even though he's nominated for Star Trek Lower Decks, he also thinks it's going to Arcane. Um, let's see here. Yeah, a couple of years ago, what I was saying though, a couple of years ago, uh, when Brett Morgan won the directing for a nonfiction program uh, Jane for the Jane Goodall documentary. I actually, because I had interviewed him a couple times, I emailed him to congratulate him on his win, and he said thank you, and he thanked, and then he thanked Gold Derby because our live feed was the only one that was out, and that's how his mother found out that he had won, which is sweet. Um, let's see here. Back to sound mixing. So we have after edit animation, we have sound mixing for limited or anthology, and then we have sound mixing for comedy or drama 1 hour. Nominees are Andor, The Last of Us, The Pit, Severance, and The White Lotus.
I mean, I would say Andor or Severance, but I don't know. Maybe they'll go for The Last of Us.
I don't know that Last of Us.
Same
That
episode. Yeah.
That Last of Us sound editing wouldn't caught us off guard.
I mean, it makes sense, on a not on a on a basic level. Because sound editing is always, whatever's the loudest.
Even though that really should be for sound mixing, though,
Actually, you
right?
know what? Yeah, based on if it's sound mixing in terms of like mixing sounds together, which is like something like they always award like any like musical programs for. I mean, Severance could win based on that, that the band number.
True. Yeah, definitely. I was actually thinking that actually could help it win for choreography, though, too.
Oh, The Pit is nominated. Part two of The Massacre is for sound editing, but part one is for sound.
Is sound mixing.
Yeah, see, I don't get, yeah, all these like all these episode titled times about with the clock 24 style. I never understand what happens in any of them.
Following that, and the sound editing for animation did in fact go to Arcane. So uh, condolences, Ali, for your brother not winning. But hey, if he was on Gold Derby and he was predicting, he would have gotten that category correct. So good for him on that. Got to take your wins where you can get them, I guess. Following sound mixing for comedy or drama, 1 hour, we have comedy or sound mixing for comedy or drama. Half hour nominees there are The Bear for Doors, Mid Century Modern for Sour Pickleball, Only Murders in the Building for Once Upon a Time in the West, Shrinking for The Drugs Don't Work, and The Studio for the Golden Globes. I mean,
Literally, if the studio wasn't in any of these categories, the Bear would win most of these.
yeah, no question about that.
I'm surprised this because Doors is like the premiere. I'm surprised that didn't make it for directing because that's Chris Storer who has won this category the last two times.
Yeah, it's weird that Io's the only person that they only nominated Io for directing.
Yeah, they submitted 3 episodes, and she wrote an episode this fourth season. Yeah, so she's really good. She's really going for those for she's really going to break more, wants to break more of those records.
I don't blame her. I love Aya, so I'm like I'm she could do anything as far as I'm concerned.
Although After the Hunt is not looking good. I saw that trailer and I was like, these people are overacting so much.
Though I always wonder whenever I see that whenever I see like they're overacting or something, I can't remember there was something I saw a couple in the last couple of years where I'm just like I'm like the acting is not, and I'm wondering whether that was a conscious choice by the actors or whether the director prodded that performance out of them.
Either way.
And honestly, with Luca Guadagnino, you never know.
I still have to watch Queer.
Same. Though nothing for me beats my favorite Luca Guadagnino performance in a Luca Guadagnino movie is actually Mark Rylance in Bones and All.
Oh yeah, mine too.
He's so fucking good at that.
Mark Rylance can do no wrong.
He really can, and I even love his win for Bridge of Spies. I think it's a wonderful
So do
performance.
I won $30 on that win.
Good for you on that one. I was with my roommate at the time.
Although I then lost 20 because the year after because of Moonlight.
Um, what was my roommate who was living with the year that Oscars uh, total Mark Ruffalo fangirl, and for good reason. I mean, he's a great actor and he's foxy as hell. But I'm glad he didn't win for Spotlight. But when Patricia Arquette opened that envelope and said Mark, we were like, oh.
See, I didn't. I don't think she took that long of a pause. I
Well,
mean,
it's one of those things where it's just in the moment. She didn't take long, but it's in the moment where we hear Mark, and we were like, whoa. Because also that was also when he winked at the camera after his clip, and we were just like, and we both basically like swooned.
yeah, it wasn't even. Michael Keaton was the better performance.
Well, there's Michael Keaton, Stanley Tucci was awesome in Spotlight too. He was incredible in that movie. That whole cast though is excellent. Um, sound mixing for a limited or anthology series does go to the Penguin.
What else is new?
And this is making me feel much better
Colin Farrell.
about having Colin Farrell in there.
Yeah, literally just take the Penguins wins today and add two. That's its total.
It'd be funny if Deirdre O'Connell won the supporting actress category because she came out of nowhere and won that Tony Award.
Yeah, her play was closed for like
the play was closed, and it was also, I believe, if I remember correctly, the performance was she didn't actually speak in it. It was all an audio recording of someone's not testimony, but being account being given to the police, and she lip synced the whole thing, which is like, wow.
That year was crazy. I think that was the Kill a Mockingbird year. Yeah, Tony.
No, I don't think that was To Kill a Mockingbird. That it was a couple of years after that because who was the favorite that year? I think it was Mary Louise Parker was the favorite to win back to back.
Oh yeah, for not the drive that How I Learned to Drive, the Paul Vogel.
Yes.
I was thinking of the Adam, the one she won, the Adam somebody.
Yeah, the one she won the previous year for.
What's the playwright's name? Adam.
I can't remember that. Sound mixing for comedy or drama 1 hour does go to Severance.
Good. Because I know his last name, she shares a similar last name with the Kevin Spacey accuser. Or maybe they're related. I don't know.
Maybe. So let's see. After sound mixing for comedy or drama, half hour or animation, we have performer in a short form comedy or drama series. We have three nominees from Die Hard, Hard to Kill. We got Natalie Emmanuel, Kevin Hart, and J.K. Simmons. We also have Desi Lydic for The Daily Show, Desi Lydic Fox Explains, and Tom Segura for Bad Thoughts.
Desi, maybe.
I personally want Desi to win because I love her. I think
I
she's
still think The Daily Show is going to win. I'm this all these latest news with Colbert is, I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it because he is still eligible next year.
yes, he will be eligible next year
Yeah. So I'm like,
because the
I
show
don't
doesn't end for May, so he will have a full season
yeah.
of shows to go from there.
Even then, like we'll see because they don't, that category is boring. They didn't give it to Conan when he left. They didn't give it to Conan both times when he left. And I don't know. I know Last Week Tonight's not in that category anymore, but I don't know. They love The Daily Show, and people have it winning. People have Colbert winning directing, which I'm a little surprised by. I have The Daily Show
I'm a little. I think I'm predicting it, but I'm also very skeptical.
because I looked at The Daily Show in the episode, and that's the one where Jon Stewart breaks his hand accidentally.
That was so great. That was so great.
And yes, the playwright's name is Adam Rapp, who is the brother of Anthony Rapp.
Anthony Rapp. Yes. Okay. I always wondered if they were related because I would always see those dates. I'm like, I wonder if they're related.
I was like, he shares the same last name with that Kevin Spacey accuser.
FN Lorder did point out uh, that they did give it to Trevor Noah for the last season of The Daily Show when he was there.
And that's when people were predicting Colbert too.
Sound mixing half hour does in fact go to the studio.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Hacks can pull this off twice. Hacks really benefited from the Bear season 3. There's no Bears. Well, now they have Bear season 4 to like deal with.
Bear fatigue, which is also what they call in my circle what happens when you're done of sleeping with big burly men. So I know a lot of my friends were definitely like when they started watching The Bear, they're just like, oh, where are all the hairy guys?
It literally just opens with it. Literally, the first scene is him dreaming of a bear, and that's it.
um, let's see here. So sound mixing half hour goes to studio. Okay, so now we're waiting on performer in a short form comedy or drama series. Following that, then we get into the music category. So we have music composition for a series, original dramatic score. Nominees there are Andor for Who Are You, Based on a True Story for Relapse, Cobra Kai for Blood In, Blood Out, Severance for Cold Harbor, The Studio for The Missing Reel, and The White Lotus for Amor Fati.
Yeah, I think Severance has got this, and I would be happy if. Oh wait, it's not Nicholas Patel. It's a guy named Brandon Roberts.
Yes, it's Brandon Roberts. Yes.
Yeah. And the studio, has some catchy score because it's obviously scored by the same guy who did Birdman.
Oh yeah, Antonio. I was wondering where I remember that name from.
Well, I mean, even if you listen to the score, it was like, yeah, this sounds a lot like the Birdman score, which of course he wasn't eligible for.
Which was bullshit. That was a great score. And have you found it interesting that they've been publishing these lists of the best movies of the 21st century, and on all of them, I see Grand Budapest Hotel, I see Boyhood, never see Birdman.
Are you talking about the critics list, like New York Times, Rolling Stone, all that stuff?
Well, yeah, there was the critics list. There was one from a couple of years ago. There were several
or just
from
like
the last couple of years,
or just like the fans like self-made top 10 and
like the critics ones is what I'm talking about. Not the self-made ones, but the critics ones.
Yeah, I more align myself with the Rolling Stone one because they have more like gutsier picks, whereas the New York Times is like it's a little bit more expected. I mean, they both
Yeah,
have.
they didn't have United 93 on there, which blew my mind. I'm like, that is like one of the most amazing movies I've ever
I don't like
seen.
that movie. There were a
You don't
lot.
like that?
There were a lot of 9/11, or not even 9/11, just like Flight 93 movies out that year. What 2000?
Yeah, you had because you also had the TV movie as well, which yeah, the A&E TV movie, which is much more melodrama.
Yeah, I
But
got.
did you read the Ringer list of the 101 best performances of the 21st century?
That was bullshit.
Actually, I thought there were a lot of solid choices, especially the top
No,
10.
there were
I could.
solid choices, but like some of them ranked below and above other people. Like, no.
Who
I
is the guy from Uncut Gems who played himself?
don't know,
They put that as 101, which I was just like, what the hell?
basketball player, I think.
Yeah, as a basketball player, I can't remember which one it was.
Basketball.
Short form performer, good for her, goes to Desi Lydic for The Daily Show.
Vote splitting strikes again.
At least Kevin Hart doesn't have an Emmy.
He still has not hosted the Oscars, so
Thank God.
I mean, honestly, given like the last few hosts, who knows how much better or worse it could have
I
been.
actually thought Conan knocked it out of the
No,
park. I
Conan
thought
was
Conan was great.
he's going to be great next year, and I hope
Yeah,
his movie with Rose Byrne. I hope that makes a splash somewhere. I mean, obviously they're not going to nominate him, but like I hope Rose Byrne, given what I've heard about her performance, I hope she makes a splash in Best Actress. Now with all these festivals, the Best Actress is now like is has probably been the most affected.
yeah.
With like Jesse Buckley, Julia
Jesse
Roberts,
Buckley,
Amanda
Sydney Sweeney's
Seyfried.
now solidly in it.
I mean, oh my God, all those critics, pundits, whatever you want to call them. It wasn't even a full fucking hour after Sydney Sweeney's movie came out, and they're like, "Oh, she's immediately getting an Oscar nomination," and then all the scores come out, and it's like it's rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, come. I mean, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised given like this, given the season what she's had. I shouldn't be surprised about older men freaking out over Sydney Sweeney.
Following composition, music composition for a series, we have composition for a limited or anthology series. Nominees there are Black Mirror for Hotel Reverie, Black Mirror for USS Callister Into Infinity, Dying for Sex, It's Not That Serious, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story for Spree, The Penguin for After Hours, and The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat.
Yeah, I didn't even hear. Oh, it's music. I didn't even hear the category, and I was like, it's the Penguin. It
Yeah,
does have a good score. It's by the. I'm guessing that's the son of Michael
that's
Giacchino.
what I was just going to
Or
ask.
his
Is
brother,
that Michael
or his
Giacchino's son or
brother.
brother?
Let me see. Yeah, that Batman score slaps. Although I will say, I like the Supreme at Earl's All You Can Eat and the Black Mirror. Oh yeah, Black Mirror scores are pretty good. Ariel Marks, she was nominated twice in this category for Dying for Sex and Hotel Reverie, and she was nominated for Small Light. He looks pretty young. I'm guessing that's his son.
And well, you can also not count out monsters. Thomas Newman is in that. I wonder. Julia Newman is this. I
He
wonder if that's
really
his
should
wife.
have he really should have an Oscar.
He
I was
really
so
should.
disappointed he lost for 1917. And
I I was disappointed, but I can't fault that Joker score. That was the when I saw Joker, the one thing I was like, I was thinking to myself after that movie was over was that score was incredible.
yeah, I still would
See,
have voted.
here's what they should have done.
Yep,
Instead of Jai Ho winning Best Original Song, it should have gone to Down to Earth because that way both Thomas Newman and Peter Gabriel get Oscars, and the world is
my
fine.
favorite score is of his is still Road to Perdition. And
I
that
love
his
his
American
American Beauty
Beauty
score.
loss, that was bullshit.
What's that?
His American Beauty loss, that was bullshit.
And I think his Wally score is incredible too. The Wally score is incredible.
Yeah, Mick is the son of Mike.
And music composition for a series goes to Severance. You were right about that.
Told ya, 500 bets. That that was a one. I think my other 500 bet was narrator because people were predicting David Attenborough, and I went with Barack Obama.
I did too. I did too. I'm on that train with you. I'm
No,
on that train
because
with you.
they've stopped giving. I think they stopped giving it to David Attenborough, even when he was just nominated by himself. Because last year he lost to Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, After that, we have outstanding original main title theme music. Nominees there are Department Q, Dune Prophecy, Lazarus, The Residents, The White Lotus, and Your Friends and Neighbors.
Okay, this is what I'll say because everyone's fucking predicting the White Lotus because it's the only known show on here. But the one, and I haven't seen any of these other shows, but the one to with the theme song to Lazarus fucking slaps. I hope that wins. I don't know if they're gutsy enough to do it, but I hope that wins. That is such a banger opening theme.
I personally would love The Residents to win because that's Mark Mothersbaugh,
Yeah.
who most people probably know as the lead singer for Devo. And he's been doing scores for, dear God, like 30 years, and uh, he's never gotten the kind of recognition that he deserves. So I would love to see him win.
I mean, given that they went rogue on Shogun last year, I hope they make I hope they make more banger decisions. Yeah, I really did not like the White Lotus theme to season three, and it wasn't like something you quickly adjusted to, like something like The Leftovers when they really changed their theme music. Um,
And sure enough, it runs in the family. Music composition for limited or anthology goes to the Penguin.
mhm.
While we're waiting, next we have, so while we're waiting for original main title theme music, we have music supervision. Nominees there are Hacks for I Love LA, The Last of Us for The Price, The Righteous Gemstones for You Hurled Me into the Depths, into the Very Heart of the Seas, Severance for Cold Harbor, The Studio for The Promotion, and The White Lotus for Same Spirits, New Forms.
Gotta be,
Both The Studio and The White Lotus are scored by the same person, Gabe Hilfer.
gotta
And
be.
who's also nominated as one of the supervisors for Righteous Gemstones. So he has 3 nominations tonight.
Still, it's gotta be Severance. If it won composition, it definitely should win.
I think that's one that I put the White Lotus in for some reason. I think I was just wanting to vary it up a little bit.
I don't even know. I don't even know if they put names on these ballots. I only know they put the names on for the directors. Um,
And the actors.
it doesn't. Yeah, but actors are like is a given.
After that, we have original music and lyrics. The nominees there being Agatha All Along for the song "The Ballad of the Witch's Road," Andor for "We Are the Gore" planetary anthem, and that's the one that Nicholas Bertel is nominated for. The Boys for "Let's Put the Christ Back in Christmas," SNL 50th Anniversary Special for Adam Sandler's song, and Will and Harper for Harper and Will Go West.
Yeah, that was never gonna get nominated at the Oscars.
I think this is easily Adam Sandler's.
Although the boys' song is pretty catchy. I'm not gonna lie.
I will say that right when that song, when if you had told me going into the SNL 50th anniversary special that the most moving part would be Adam Sandler's original song, I would have thought you were crazy. But I thought that was actually the best part of the show.
Oh yeah,
Other than bringing back Linda Richmond from Coffee Talk, that was a personal favorite. That made me smile.
of course Adam Sandler's not gonna be there.
Yeah, he's in Toronto, right?
I don't think Jay Kelly is submitted for Toronto, which I found very surprising. That could have easily won their or
Oh
placed.
yeah, they love Noah Baumbach there.
Yeah, they could have easily placed in their audience award. Um,
Well, main title theme music.
it's not the White Lotus.
It is the White
God
Lotus.
damn it! Lazy, fucking lazy,
Lazy,
lazy
lazy,
ass
lazy.
motherfuckers. After giving this to fucking Palm Royale over Shogun last year. So this guy still gets an Emmy despite, his his public comments. Good to know.
Let's see here. Actually, yeah, we just heard from Marcus saying that Cristobal Tapia de Ver was not there, but he was hoping that he would do some trash talking at the podium.
Well, then why wasn't he there?
We were hoping.
I mean, what else? What is he on another job after after what he said?
Well, at least he could say, "Hey, won this." And music supervision goes to the studio.
Okay, cool.
So Gabe Hilfer wins, defeats himself and himself. While we're waiting for, so the last the original music and lyrics is the last of the music categories. We are in the home stretch now. Now we are in cinematography. So the first one is cinematography for a half-hour series. Nominees there are Emily in Paris for Masquerade, George and Mandy's First Marriage for The 610 to Lubbock, Hacks for I Love LA, The Righteous Gemstones for Prelude, and the studio for The Oneer. And it's got to be the studio for The Oneer.
Oh, gee, what a very tough category. Such vast,
Immensely tough.
was such vast nominees. I was thinking Georgie and Mandy would make the multi-camera directing slot before I heard of Mid-Century Modern.
Yeah, but that's got James Burrows, so you know that it's sort of like the Leslie Linka Glatter thing. You know, it's like that name is and that is like Leslie Linka Glatter, James Burrows, and Paris Barclay. If there's a way for them to get in, they will get in.
Yeah, but this was directed by Mark Sandrowski, who invented this rule, and it was the first got in for the first and was the first recipient nominee when he got in for The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Following that, since that was such an epic conversation, cinematography for a 1 hour series, we have Andor for Harvest, The Day of the Jackal, Episode 1, Etoile for The Swap, Pachinko for Chapter 9, Severance for Hello, Ms. Cobell, and The White Lotus for Killer Instincts.
Oh, this is the same woman who's nominated for directing for Severance. Yeah, I think it's got to be Severance. Imagine if she wins this and directing.
That would be incredible.
I mean, this is
And
for
Ben
the
Stiller will be kicking people.
this is for the premieres, not for her episode, which has great cinematography.
Yeah, I'm surprised though that I thought that they would kind of go with that they would submit the finale for the cinematography.
Aren't you?
Whoa. Okay. Adam Sandler still Emmyless. Music and lyrics. The Boys.
Oh, nice.
We'll keep the red for let's put the Christ back in Christmas.
Nice. It is a catchy song.
Not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed by that. A little disappointed by that. I really liked that. I really liked that Adam Sandler song. And I never thought I would be. I never thought I would be someone that would be going to bat for Adam Sandler that much. But I thought it was genuinely fantastic.
Well, you have the rest of Oscar season. I'm still not over the White Lotus winning. I mean, if you're gonna win, at least be there. Provide some, entertainment for
Or
us.
be original. It's just another variation of the same theme, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
it's
least
just to
you're
me it's just
at least
late. Yeah, like you
at
were
least
saying earlier, it just feels lazy.
just make your speech entertaining, despite your PR reps.
I mean, if the person who knows how to do that, interestingly enough, is Mike White.
Or Carla Sofia Gascon. She got some kind of fucking special prize at Venice, which I thought was
Last
fucking
year,
this year.
this year,
Yes.
why?
Because it's Venice. They don't give a shit.
She was in an infomercial. We're giving it to her for that. Um, so we did cinematography for half hour, for 1 hour. Cinematography for limited. This shouldn't be that hard either. We nominees are Adolescence for episode 2, American Primeval for episode 1, Disclaimer for episode 1, The Penguin for Top Hat, and Zero Day for episode 2.
Okay, 0 Day. What the fuck is that doing in cinematography?
Mm-hmm.
Disclaimer, as much as I don't like that show, it does have really good cinematography.
And
Um,
it has two
yeah,
immensely talented, both Manuel
Besky
Lubezki
and
and Bruno Debonel.
yeah. And yeah, I'm still surprised Alfonso Cuarón did not make directing. He was nominated to DGA, which will nominate Leslie Linka Glatter next ceremony. Now that the Emmys have given them permission. Oh, speaking of people who are not going to show up, there's no way Kate Blanchett shows up next week.
No, there's no way she's going to be there. I don't think she would even be there if she happened to be in Los Angeles at the time.
I mean, Javier Bardem, that's either or. He was campaigning during the nomination phase. That's either or. He didn't show up to any of the Winter Awards when he was nominated.
Following cinematography for limited or anthology, we have our last two categories of the night. Guest actor in a drama series. Nominees there are Giancarlo Esposito for The Boys, Scott Glenn for The White Lotus, Sean Hattasey for The Pit, Joe Pantoliano for The Last of Us, Forrest Whitaker for Andor, and Jeffrey Wright for The Last of Us.
Well, now that The Last of Us, they don't give a shit about The Last of Us. It's obviously going to be The Pit.
Yeah, and I have a feeling if the Sean Hattasey should be thanking Severance for not for the Academy for not nominating anybody from Severance. Cinematography, half hour, no surprise there. The studio, I believe that is its eighth win,
Does it have more wins
or
than
their ninth win. I'm sorry.
it has more wins than the Penguin?
Yes.
Good. Yeah, I don't know. I yeah, I think it's time for any of the doubters or the hack supporters to go
And
over.
this is way more decisive than the Bear was in Creative Arts last year.
That's
So I
definitely
think I definitely am going to have to make that switch
definitely
now.
more fair. Yeah. Hacks would be the luckiest fucking show in this popular voting era if it won next week.
I still have it winning writing.
I have it winning writing too, but I'm very cautious. Same thing with supporting actress. Those two, I'm thinking, should I switch over to the studio? Because the studio, if it were, it's obviously going to be Catherine O'Hara if it's the studio wins supporting actress.
I don't know. Part of me is just like I know people just love Catherine Hahn, though I did think that she was going to ride that to a win for WandaVision 4 years ago. Not gonna lie though, for guest actor in a drama series, I love Joe Pantoliano.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I love all those actors. Forrest Whitaker, I was very happy he made it in.
I still will never forget when Joe won for The Sopranos, and he was in a purple satin tux,
Yeah, he rocked that shit.
and he looked awesome in it. And I also love that it was presented by Michael Chiklis. And when he opened the envelope, he said, "The Emmy goes to my friend Joey Pants." I was just like, "That's so awesome."
I should rewatch Memento.
Rewatch what?
Memento.
Oh God, he's so good in that movie.
Everyone's good at that.
Everyone's good in that movie. Carrie Ann Moss should have been nominated for an Oscar for that movie. Guy Pearce is incredible. That movie is so fucking good.
That's like definitely top two or three of
Yeah, for of the century for
my
me, it's in
top.
my top five.
My top. Wait, was that a 2000 movie? Yeah, it was.
Yes, no, it was 01. It was 01.
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to think if that was like a 21st century.
It is.
Yeah.
Cinematography for a 1 hour series goes to Severance.
Yep. Congrats, whatever. Jessica Lee
Jessica
Gad.
Lee Gagne.
Also up for director. I think she's like the first woman to be nominated for that in the same year. I
Uh,
still think she can win next week.
it'll be interesting.
I mean, I'm not predicting her, but I still think I have her in second.
And our last category, outstanding television movie, the nominees, as we discussed earlier, are Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy, The Gorge, Mountainhead, Nanas, and Rebel Ridge.
Yeah, whatever. All due respect. Rebel Ridge, right? I don't know.
I think that's what I'm predicting.
Or they could be lazy and go Bridget Jones.
I would love it if it was Mountain. I was entertained by Mountainhead.
I haven't seen it.
Rami Youssef is fantastic in it. Rami Youssef is I adore Rami Youssef. Also because I have a feeling like I know he's straight and I know he's married, but I have a feeling that if he was gay, we would really hit it off. We would be quite the odd couple, him, the Egyptian Muslim comedian, and me, the Ashkenazi agnostic.
Oh God.
He was on the panel I did for animation, because he has that show on Prime Video, Happy Family #1 USA, and we were talking. He was talking about. We were talking about people's like what got them into animation, and he was talking about South Park, and I realized that he's just around the same age I am, and I said to him, "Did you have to sneak watch it when you were a kid?" And he's went, "Yes."
I think South Park. I know South Park hasn't been nominated in the animation category for a long time, but I think it can. I think it because of its like relevancy and like the way
just that premiere episode alone.
Yeah, just
that
that
premiere episode alone. I
that's
felt
at
like they
least
should have
a
been
shoo-in
They
for a
should be
nomination.
engraving it already.
Yeah, it's definitely a shoo-in for at least a nomination next year.
It should be. The problem with the recent years is that they haven't had a traditional season. They've had the specials that have been going on, and I don't remember where they submitted for some of them. I can't remember if they. No, they had to have gone. They may have gone in long form if there was a long. No, there wasn't a long form category.
Yeah, they haven't been
because they
nominated.
won the Imagination episode trilogy, won in long form, even though it was 3 separate episodes. They submitted it as one long episode.
Yeah, it hasn't been nominated since 2018, except for the COVID episode.
And those specials I think are really solid as well. But this one, how can they not? Especially with the direction that CBS has been going in. CBS with what happened with CBS with Face the Nation with Kristi Noem's interview, and the idea that CBS might actually hire Barry Weiss as an editorial director. Jesus Christ, give me a break.
Yeah, all those Bill Maher fans.
Jesus Christ. I mean, how heartless do you have to be to look at pictures of starving children and go, well, they had other medical conditions? Like, Jesus Christ, what is wrong with you? But let's not get into that. That's another can of worms altogether.
Talk about Woody Allen instead.
Woody Allen did nothing wrong.
He literally just did Bill Maher's pot.
I know, which is like usually you would call that a get because Woody Allen is so reclusive. And by the way, cinematography limited, no surprise, goes to Adolescence.
Oh shit! Wow. Okay. See, so the Penguin. See, that proves I can beat the Penguin. Ah,
Uh, what were we talking about before we got on that? I just lost my train of thought.
before we got on what?
Oh, we were talking about something about. Oh yeah, we were talking about South Park, and I would love it, and they'd have to submit that first
Oh,
episode
they're definitely
because
going to submit it. It's depending on whether they get nominated.
though the second episode is really good too, where Mr. Mackey becomes an agent of ice. That one's pretty good too, and Christy Gnome's face keeps on melting off, and it looks like the substance.
Yeah, 2.5 hours. That's
Guest actor, no surprise there, Sean Hattasy, and he is there.
Julianne Nicholson was there, right? Or no?
I don't know. I didn't hear whether or not she was there. I feel like I would have seen her on the red. I haven't seen anything of her on the red carpet, but that just might be my gay ignorant ass not noticing women.
Because all these perceived winners, like they should, yeah, it makes sense for it.
Yeah, it was well. The only one that was a surprise was Merritt Weaver,
Yeah, but like even
and
she,
that was that we knew there was going to be a curveball somewhere in there.
yeah, all these like I mean, you obviously Olivia Colman's not gonna fucking be here, so um,
Interestingly, if The Gorge were to win television movie, that would net Miles Teller an Emmy. He's one of the executive producers on there.
oh, but not Anya Taylor Joy.
Apparently not.
That's a legit question. I have no idea.
Apparently not. She's not. I have on here all you can't say. Yeah, you see, I have all the listed executive producers on here. Um, yeah, no, not listed.
Mm, I mean, I probably has to wait for our next
And
series with
if
Scott.
Nana's were to win, that would net Vince Vaughn an Emmy.
She probably has to wait for her next series with Scott Frank, who will probably never win an Emmy again, unless unless his show is like completely undeniable.
Who's Scott Frank again? Remind me. I'm drawing a blank on that.
Director of the Queen's Gambit. Remember his speech when he won? He was like he was like blatantly telling the playoff music to like shut up for like 5 6 times when it was going on for like 5 to 6 minutes.
Well, now we know where Adrian Brody got the idea.
Yeah.
Although he did that his first time, he's done that. He's done that both times.
Yeah, he's not a succinct guy.
See, Forrest Whitaker learned from his bad Golden Globe speech. He learned
I
very
liked
quickly.
Forrest because at least he was genuine in his
Well,
speech.
you mean in his Oscar speech?
No, his Golden Globe speech. I mean,
Well, he was caught. I think he did. I don't think he thought he was going to win because he had won the Critics Awards, but I think yeah, that was the only nomination Last King of Scotland had at both the Oscars and the Golden Globe was his nomination. So it's understandable at the Golden Globes that he didn't think he
and
was
I
going to
wish
win.
the Oscars would go back to that kind of year when, like, all the best actor, the best cinematography, or all those nominees were nowhere near Best Picture. We're not even nominated for Best Picture, but we're not doing that in a field of 10.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um, and I've always said we would live in a better world if Ray Fiennes had won for Conclave.
He should have won for Schindler's List.
I actually love Tommy Lee Jones's
I
performance
like
in
it.
The Fugitive.
I like his
I love
performance
that
too.
performance.
Like, there's
And,
no
in
way.
all honesty, that's a great year, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
That
It was
actually had some fantastic performances in
yeah, it
it.
was
Is that
Leo.
the year that Pete Postlethwaite was up? Is
Leo had Gilbert Grape and
Pete
uh
Postlethwaite had In the Name of the Father?
yeah, I think so.
That's a
What
solid
is the name
it's a
of the
solid
father?
year.
I don't know. I don't think so because that would mean like Tom Hanks would have won for because I know he beat Daniel Day Lewis for In the Name of the Father, and that was
93.
no, I think it was '94.
No, that was no. In the Name of the Father was 93.
Yeah, I'm talking Fugitive would have been
93.
'92.
No, no, Fugitive wasn't 92 because Gene Hackman won 92 for Unforgiven.
Oh yeah, that movie. Yeah, I just watched that.
I love that movie.
It was okay.
I love that movie. I think it's great. So yeah, so we are waiting for outstanding television movie. Looks like studio has won 9 tonight. The record for comedy, I believe, total is 11.
It's
Trying
gonna
to remember.
win. It's gonna win 11 because it's
I mean,
definitely.
it wins. I mean, if it just win, I mean, just
It's gonna win actor. It's gonna win director, regardless of what happens.
yeah, those two, it's got 11.
Yeah, it's already got 11. Regardless of what happens anywhere else, it has those two categories. And if it wins series, it's 12. That's all it needs.
Wow, the most ever for a comedy show.
I'm trying to remember. Well, at least it's not the bear. I'm trying to remember if I'm trying to like think if the studio can. I mean, I obviously can now with all these technical wins, but can it just win comedy series and just in terms of the main telecast, win comedy series and just win lead actor and director and nothing else on the main telecast? I mean, if you take away creative arts, um,
I wouldn't put that. I wouldn't put it beyond that. I wouldn't put it beyond that. I do think it would be weird. It would feel weird, very much like when Spotlight won only original screenplay and or last year with Hacks.
yeah.
And our last category, TV movie, goes to Rebel Ridge.
Congrats.
So congrats to them on that. Let me take a look at how many the Penguin won tonight. Let's see here. Let's see, 1, 2. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
How many did Severance win? Like,
It looks like Severance won 6.
okay, yeah, I was like at least 5.
And The Pit has 2 wins. It won guest actor. What was the other one it won?
Casting.
Casting, that's right.
See, I still think even with the Pit winning casting, I still think Severance can still win drama series.
I think it's at least a little bit of a contest, though.
Yeah, I do think I am more like I am more concerned like considering that possibility more than I do with like the hacks beating the studio. Um, I think for that to happen, I think Catherine Lanassa has to win supporting actress. It would just feel weird. And I know not obviously not as weird as last year with Hacks winning and Hannah Einbinder losing, but like it would just feel weird to have like the Pit win that and Noah Wiley and maybe like a writing and directing category and just not with her because I really don't think I don't know. The White Lotus is giving me Ted Lasso season 3 vibes. I still have Carrie Coon predicted, but
But it's sort of like, as opposed to what?
what do you mean
Well, I mean, like, as opposed to, like, who else would it be?
in that category?
Yeah, in supporting actress.
Yeah, Catherine Lanasa. That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Alternative. I think I think she could win. Like that's also something that I'm considering. Because if she does win, then I'll be worried about the pit. But it also depends on whether Britt Lauer and Tramel Tillman, because I think both of them also have to win to for Severance to win too. Because I think Noah Wiley is winning drama actor. I have no like second thoughts about that.
Yeah, I think I think that's just been so baked in at this point.
I think Severance is winning writing and directing.
I am with you on the Brit Lauer. I have her winning drama actress.
But yeah, that's another one of my 500 bets.
And to me, it's like not even a question.
Not even
I mean,
close.
yeah, I mean, yeah, Kathy Bates has kind of just been sort of like coasting based on, just like initial things and like yeah,
The fact that
there's
she's
it's just
not retired is like, is why people like keep like it is enough to like keep nominating her for like the because she is really good in that show, but it's again a network show. It's not like This Is Us or anything.
yeah, it's a
Um,
network procedural.
yeah, yeah. Like I said before, I would be shocked if more than two shows win in their respective genres, with the exception of Carrie Coon and Harrison Ford.
God, I would love it if Harrison Ford won. Because I was so gung ho on him getting nominated and thinking that if he got nominated, he would win easily for the first season of Shrinking, and then he didn't even get in, which is a travesty. If you've seen the first season of Shrinking, he's insanely funny in that show. There's an episode where he is tripping on edibles, which is absolutely hilarious, which is kind of funny also considering Harrison Ford also used to be a pot dealer. Um, that's one of my favorite things I've ever read was what this story I read where someone was at a screening of Star Wars back in 1977 and they were with their friends and when Harrison Ford first comes on screen as Han Solo, a person down the aisle from them yelled out, "That's my pot dealer!"
uh,
Um, I would love it to win, but I also think it's also really funny that that category of supporting actor in a comedy is majority queer
oh yeah.
because you got
See
Michael Urie,
that
you got Jeff Hiller, um,
Coleman,
uh, you got Bowen Yang, and who's the other one?
Coleman Domingo,
Was that?
Coleman Domingo,
Yeah, Coleman Domingo.
which
I would love it if Jeff Hiller won. I'd be
I
so
would love it
happy.
too. Literally, that category and comedy writing are probably two of the most inspired categories at the Emmys this year. If it
Yeah,
were up
especially
to me,
getting both
if
getting
I
both somebody somewhere and the rehearsal in that writing category.
that would be my top two in the writing category. I'll probably give the edge to the rehearsal, but I would vote for Jeff Hiller for somebody somewhere.
Absolutely, no question. He's so good. He's so good on that show, and that show has such a wonderful heart to it as well. Um, and it's a show that actually my mom has made it like her mission to like introduce people to the show, and everybody she's introduced it to has loved it so far.
Yeah. I mean, I could do without Coleman Domingo, but I guess given the history, you know, I guess we have to always be on the lookout for a very popular, buzzy recent Oscar nominee to be the lone nomination for a show that most people don't watch, like with Lily Gladstone, Robert Downey Jr.,
Yeah,
that shit. Yeah.
I I liked the four seasons. I was actually very interested. And actually, if you were going to nominate anybody from that show, for me, it's Carrie Kenny Silver.
Right.
Carrie Kenny knocked that out of the park. She was so good, and I've loved her for so long. I remember I used to love her on Reno 911. Oh God, she was so hilarious on Reno 911. God, I loved her on that show. So yeah, um, that is night one of Creative Arts. We will be. Do you have any other thoughts about what transpired today?
I mean, nothing particularly shocking. There were some surprises, nothing that would sway me to change any of my predictions for next week. Um, yeah, it was a very typical night. I'm happy for Andor, and
Yeah, 4 wins is nothing to stuff to what's the word I'm looking for? What's the saying? Is
scoff,
nothing
scoff at.
scoff at. Thank you. I'm like, is it nothing to snuff at? No, that's not right.
That's Survivor, which Mike White is, for some reason, on the on for the 50th season. I don't know. He must really love that show because
He does. He
yeah,
fucking loves that
for
show.
it to be on to be on that seat to be on the 50th season because there's no way he wins that season.
Well, I'm also wondering what are the limits? Like, because he's a gainfully employed writer director. Like, what are there has to be some sort of like limits on income. But then again, John Lovett,
No,
who's
they can
making all
have
that money from the Pod Save America and Crooked Media, got on the
sports. They
season.
have they have sports stars. They have like people like uh, John, some football player. They have Brad Culpepper. There's no limit to they can have anybody.
And to answer your question, David, yes, we are planning on Tony being on tomorrow night. I am hoping he will probably be my main guy with me. Chris, I don't know. Did you say that you might be able to join the back half?
Yeah, I don't know what time I'll get back, so I'll probably be able to join like somewhere around the back half, back like the last maybe 90 minutes.
The back door.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All I'm thinking of is this Family Guy when Brian walks in on Peter and Lois naked, high off their mind on the couch, and Lois goes, "Brian, he's knocking on the back door. What do I do? I'm yeah, interesting night. It'll be interesting to see what we get tomorrow night. Hopefully, we'll get some interesting winners in the documentary categories. I always love those categories. Um, uh, the Pee Wee documentary is fantastic. If anybody hasn't watched it, um, so yeah, so that'll be tomorrow night. Interesting night, Chris. Thanks for joining me, and to everybody who's still just lounging around. We hope to see you back same time tomorrow night for the variety, reality, and documentary categories. And we'll see you then. Y'all take care. All right, we're good.
Are we gonna do like a